On a chilly Saturday afternoon, game 2 of this 3-game set to start the 2024 season between the University of San Diego and the Texas Longhorns. Texas leads this series 1-0. How did we get there? Last night in dramatic fashion. The 1-2. This ball crushed to left. Wind is knocking it down, but it gets out of here. Get out of town, grand slam against the traffic.
Well, we said it couldn't be done. And Jalen Flores just turned it around into the Yeti yard out there in left center.
It is a wind chill factor in the mid-30s. Cool day here on Saturday afternoon. Glad you're with us. Welcome to UFC Disc Golf. Phil, I'm Keith Moore along with Greg Swindell. And Zeke, when you looked at last night's game, really well played game by both sides with dramatic ending with Flores going against the traffic.
34 is cold, not cool.
Okay, I got you.
It is. Both Josh Randall and LeBaron Johnson Jr. had it going. They kept the game close early, and then until Texas took advantage of a couple walks, third time through the order, and then Jalen Flores hit the big home run.
Yeah, and then you look at the bullpen for Texas. It was outstanding, Zeke, at the end of the night. On the other side, for USD, when I look at them last night, they just pounded the ball around, but they couldn't get those extra base hits. And because of that, it was a difference in the game. Coach Ungrich's team, pounded out enough hits, but just couldn't put that big blow together.
Yeah, close game early. They get one of those extra base hits early in the ball game. It could be a different story, but all singles last night.
Brock in his third year as the head coach, his lineup looks like this. Couple of things in that lineup. Look at Max McGuire. We'll get to that as the game goes on, but Dustin Allen last night did a nice job at the top, setting the order. 2 for 3 in the ball game, and he's going to be facing the big right-handed senior transfer and Charlie Hurley.
Charlie Hurley pitched well last year at times, 6'8", 225. You see from Sacramento. The number, he was 5-0. He was undefeated last year, going from starting in the bullpen, 27 walks in those 55 innings. Sinker, slider, attack on this cool day. Try to get some quick outs.
I love that term. You and I both talk about attacking all the time, but this is a great day to pitch. I mean, the wind's blowing in. We saw a ball get out against it last night, but it's a cool day to hit, and the wind blowing right behind your back. Good day to pound the zone. Chop foul, and quickly it's 0-2. As a hitter, Zeke, you just don't feel comfortable sitting in the box. Your eyes are watering with that wind blowing in your eyes.
It just takes one time getting in there. Get jammed one time.
Off the end of the bat, Powell has it on the run. Good play across the diamond for out number 1.
And it works on the other end of the bat as well. It stings just as much off the end as it does when you get jammed.
Maybe a little worse. You can see that breeze, 41 degrees, wind chill factor 34. The sun has broken out here in the last 30 minutes, so maybe a warm up a little bit. 10 to 15 miles an hour, but gusting into the mid-20s. Over the left field scoreboard as Allen steps in. Highlighted him earlier. Had a good night last night from the left side. Senior, California native, steps back in. This USD ball club last night, they did everything they needed to do. They ran the bases well. They played good defense. They just couldn't get that big blow when they had runners in scoring position.
Needed that extra base hit, that one big hit, and the big inning. I mean, they pitched well, just one bad inning for the bullpen last night.
Out of the West Coast Conference, Allen steps back in. The 2-1 delivery. On the ground, into left. These guys come to the plate. They do a good job. And I like the fact that they're disciplined enough that they go with the ball. They're not dead pull. You'll see them go with it away, pull the ball that's in.
A good hitter's count right there. And this ball starts to sink away from Dustin Allen. He just takes it right in the 5-hole. Another single for San Diego.
Costello with the big blow last night, drove in a couple of runs. Injured the end of his season last year. Really was off to a fantastic start. semi-California native. First pitch breaking ball in there, first strike. He had a big week in which during that stretch of 10 days, he hit all 7 of his home runs and then got hit in the hand and broke his hand and was done for the year.
Yeah, terrible. That happened to Jack Costello, just getting hot last year.
Long pause, the 0-1. Fastball misses inside. Same defensive lineup for Texas here in game 2 of the season, except behind the plate as Rylan Galvan is the catcher. Today's ball game. Everybody else the same. Sophomore from Sinton in behind the plate. Pitch in there for a strike.
And nothing overpowering from Hurley. He's going to use that sinker, going to use both sides of the plate. Looks pretty comfortable out there right now. In an uncomfortable situation, meaning it's cold.
It's maybe colder in this booth than out there. Throw over. Allen back in safely. Well, the guys I guarantee on the field, they're wearing their glasses and they're happy that sun's out. When we got here this morning for BP, and you watched everything, it was rather brisk and no sunshine. Right side, just muscles it. Can he get to it and get an out? He cannot. O'Dowd gets to the ball, keeps it from getting to the outfield, but just a nice job of fighting that off and getting another infield knock. And USD was something working here in the first.
Had a few of those last night, 3 or 4 infield hits, another single, 14 now in this series.
Garavich will step in. 14 hits in the series. All of them singles.
Still looking for that 1 extra base hit.
Jack will step in, sophomore, Pacific Palisades, California. First baseman from the left side. First pitch outside corner, first strike. It is a generous strike zone so far. You hope it stays that way.
He's cold too.
Yeah, I got you.
With the 2:30 start, that shadow is going to be right on home plate pretty soon, so it's going to get even chillier.
Ball down, gets away. Galvan's throw to third, not in time. A great anticipation from Allen, but Castillo on the wild pitch doesn't advance. That keeps the double play in order here.
Wow. A ball caromed over towards the third base side, and you would think a runner wouldn't attempt that, but he did and got there fairly easily. But Texas catching a break with the runner staying at first.
All right, runners at first and third with 1 out, and a 1-1 count now. Galvan with some trying to get, it's the coder that the pitch selection comes in from head coach David Pierce to both the pitcher and the catcher. 3 for 12 last night with runners in scoring position were the Toreros. Zeke, I just got to ask you, how comfortable would you be with that on your wrist pitching?
I don't like it. I didn't like sleeves. I mean, I just wanted to be free and easy out there. Yeah, but I guess now you get used to that because they're wearing it at all levels.
The 1-1, runners at first, throw over first. Yeah, every infielder, every outfielder's got one where everybody knows what pitch is coming. So you can start leaning a little bit. See the adjustment, everybody looks down, sees what pitch is coming. Upstairs. Now a jam. Hitters count. Runners at first and third with 1 out here, top of the first. Tied him up inside. Good location with that fastball. Count evens.
Just enough. Irv was taking a good cut at that pitch.
The big Right-hander comes set. His 2-2 delivery. Foul back. He's tied him up in on his hands twice now.
Really looking for that put away pitch. Hasn't been able. He's been getting back in the count, but does not have something just to put him away, to bury him, get a strikeout right here, or get you a ground ball.
Short visit. A little longer visit than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Now, did you worry about people reading your lips?
If they could do that, more power to them.
I tell you, I many times went to the mound and talked to a pitcher. I never thought he. If I thought somebody was looking, I'd yell at him and say, "Look somewhere else. You ain't got nothing to do with this."
You don't have to read those lips.
Yeah. 2-2 coming. Just missed inside. Now, will the runner be in motion here early? Real big threat.
I would think so.
Yeah, first and third, one out. I would think he would be on the move as well. Hurley set, checks the runner. Not going. Downstairs, ball 4. That will load the bases. So back-to-back singles and a walk have loaded them up.
Big opportunity here for the Toreros in the first. Really got the DeCrisio pretty easy to ground out to third, the first batter of the game. But since then, a couple knocks and a walk have loaded them up.
Barraza will step in. Angelo, right-handed hitter. Right fielder from the right side will step in. First pitch in there for a strike. Chula Vista, California native. Oh, West Coast Conference first team in 23. 20th pitch of the inning coming from Hurley. On the ground, going to be hard to get to. Flores only plays to first, does get the out, but the Toreros get on the board first, 1-0.
Yeah, when you got that sink, you're going to get some of those. We've seen 2 already, just dribblers, and that one not hard enough to turn to. Jalen does a good job of getting 1 right there.
Zeke, this is a big part of this inning. I mean, obviously Hurley has given up a run. That's okay, but can you get out and not give up any more?
That's very important. Right now, you don't want to put yourself down too many in the first.
You got a right-handed hitter on deck with a left-hander at the plate too. Does that come into play for you at all, Zeke?
I think early, not really. You want to try to go after this guy. You don't have to pitch to an extra hitter. You put another runner on base. I think early you go at him right here.
I would concur. Got a chance to get out of it. O'Dowd has it, fires to first, and that ends the inning. But USD gets on the board. They score a run on 2 hits. We go to the bottom of the first. UFCU Dish Falk Field on a blistery Saturday afternoon. Good crowd has finally made its way in. The shade is a little chilly. You want to be out maybe in the sun, one of those days in the sun. And the Toreros of University of San Diego get on the board first as you look out into the Yeti yard. What it exploded last night, didn't it, on that Flores home run? And David Pierce in his 8th year as the head coach. See the lineup right there. Boy, Jared Thomas last night was outstanding. Reached 4 out of 5 times, setting the table at the top. You got Peyton Powell right behind him. So those two guys, an integral part. And then Flores with the big knock last night. And they're going to be facing a right-hander that, quite frankly, none of us know a whole lot about.
No, Logan Redeman, true freshman for San Diego, 6'2", 185, out of Palmdale. He's a two-way guy. He will play the infield as well as pitch. Making his first collegiate start here in Austin against the Horns.
It's one of those where it's first start, also an infielder. I loved your scouting report because we don't know.
We know he's got a fastball, a curveball, and a slider, but that's about all we have on this young freshman. An exciting time for him right now.
As JT will step in. Longhorns trail here 1-0. After winning first game of this series last night, 7-3. Quick arm, pitches a strike.
94 with that quick arm.
Quick arm. We have a scouting report now.
We got it.
Quick arm.
Quick arm with a pretty good heater.
The 0-1. Throwing a bender as well.
20 miles off that fastball.
Thomas steps back in. Upstairs. The 2-1. Just missed. And it's 3-1.
He's got a good eye up there.
He doesn't go outside the zone very often.
No. I mean, that ball was on the plate for a long time and then just tailed off at the end. It's a good take.
The 3-1. He didn't get cheated there. And the count goes full. JT steps back in. On the ground. Costello throws across the diamond in time for the first out of the inning.
Saw some pitch. He liked the effort right there. I mean, went down, went with the pitch, put it in play. You never know what will happen if you put it in play.
I kind of like that Long Johns and collar. He's trying to stay warm as he could, isn't he?
A big old muffler on, didn't he?
Yeah. Sunglasses. Weren't there any heaters in those sunglasses?
Keeping him warm.
Do they put heaters on glasses?
I'm sure they can.
As Peyton Powell steps in, senior from Waco. I think that, I'm afraid that they would have some fog in them.
Can we have a heater in the booth?
we tried that. We tried that once before, and all the electricity sort of exploded. We had people scrambling that day. 1-1. Good bender. Had him out in front.
Yeah, really good one.
And it's 1-2.
Good velocity to it. It's about 15 miles, 12 to 15 miles an hour off the fastball. And we talked about the depth last night of the slider. That has really good depth on the curveball.
Ball hit well to center, but tough day in this breeze. And for the second out of the inning.
It's got to be difficult as a hitter. Sometimes at the next level, they have a little more scouting reports on a guy that's making his debut. I mean, this freshman coming out of high school, you really haven't seen him, so it might take 1 or 2 times through the order.
And I think that bows on the other side. If he can get strikes, guys are going to look at a few more pitches than they would normally. They're not going to be as aggressive as they normally would be.
Filling it up so far.
Big blow last night, the game winner. Second grand slam of his career. This one hit crisply on the ground. and a crisp inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Longhorns in the bottom of the first. We go to the second. USD up 1-0.
Longhorn Network Baseball is brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light, it's for the fans.
Oh, I can smell that chicken right now. Got some chicken thighs going and some chicken breasts. 1-0. San Diego over the Longhorns as we go to the second inning. When it's a cool day, that smoke really gets to bellowing, doesn't it? Out of those pits.
I wasn't worried about the coals or the smoke. I was looking at the chicken.
That's what I know, and I know you're a chicken guy. Occupy left field, bundled up a little bit. And the Yeti yard, they've got that back wall against them. They get back against that back wall. They get out of that breeze a little bit.
They get out of that breeze.
You see them.
It's funny how Occupy left field. They just don't seem as cold as the rest of the people.
Hey, I'm just going to say there might be some antifreeze, but I don't know. Worthington bunted through that one. The senior from Phoenix. The real leader of this ball club. Nice slider. That looks almost like a cutter.
It does. I think he's been working more with the cutter, taking a little of the, we call it again, the depth off of that pitch. I mean, it's a nice pitch. It gets off the barrel and has just enough. Has like 3 or 4 inches cut on it.
The 1-2. Downstairs. Count evens at 2-2. Bottom third of the order due here. Fouled off. Worthington did this last night. He did a great job of fighting some pitches off. Didn't come up with a lot of base hits. It was 1 for 4, but saw a lot of pitches.
It makes the pitcher work.
Off of the hands. Powell cuts it off. Nice play to get the out. That sinker's moving right now. Just ate him up inside.
Another jam shot. It's 3 or 4 already from Hurley. A good play down there. When you have the sinker baller with this slower turf, you got to really attack the ball as a fielder. See that ball get in on him right there. Almost got under the bat. Peyton Powell cutting it off before Flores could get to it.
Max McGuire, you might recognize that last name as he steps in. Upstairs. You know Mark pretty well. The junior from Irvine, California. His son stepping in here.
He's faced the Horns before. He spent a year at Oklahoma.
Pitch in there for a strike, and the count evens at 1-1.
Didn't play last year with the injury, and now back with San Diego.
On the ground. Flores to his right. On the run. Across his body. Nice play to get an out. That is so difficult to do. You have to have a strong arm, but it keeps that momentum going.
Keep it going. And it's something you work on every day. All these infielders work on fielding the ball on the run. I mean, nowadays, you really have to get rid of it in a hurry. Flores does a good job right there with the exchange.
Harry Armas will step in. Other than the 2-base hit, every out recorded has been a ground ball and not very hard struck ground ball. That means a lot of movement.
It tells you one thing, that Charlie Hurley's got some good movement, good sink, cutting it well.
Quickly ahead 0-2 here. This is outside. guys that had a lot of movement, Zeke, sometimes as a catcher, I would set in the middle and not do a lot of moving because the ball's moving so much to make it easier to throw strikes. Get to it here, 1-2. Chopped on the ground. That's a fair ball. Powell on the run. In time. Nice plays for the defense. 6th out recorded on the ground. We go to the bottom.
Are you affected by drug and alcohol addiction? Take the first step to a new beginning at Carrera Treatment Center. Call 888-383-5287 to live the life you were always meant to live.
Just a pea-sized amount of Lumi applied between your butt cheeks like this. I will demonstrate. Just kidding, I won't. Like this. We put Lumi to the test and compared it to a shower. 12 hours after a shower with soap and water, the average crotch has an odor score of 5 to 6 out of 10. 12 hours after a shower and applying Lumi, you're at a 0 out of 10. No odor all day. I'm not a mathematician, but I think it means that Lumi is infinitely more effective than a shower alone. So just take a shower or shower with Lumi and be 0 out of 10.
Lots of men have trouble performing their best in bed. For some guys, it's issues getting hard. For others, it's finishing too quickly. Either way, Hims can help. At 4hims.com, you can get clinically proven treatments from licensed medical providers, all from the comfort of home. With a 100% online process and free discreet shipping, it's never been easier to get hard, stay hard, and last longer than ever. Get started today with a free online consultation at 4hims.com.
Well, you got your duck call and probably an adult beverage, and you're sitting out. No, it's not a duck call, but thought maybe that was a duck call. But he's sitting out on top of the porch. Wind's blowing in. Everybody covered up here at the dish. In a 1-0 ball game as we go to the bottom of the second. Sunshine. Probably a much better place to be than in the shade right now. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for USD. Longhorns went 1-2-3 in the first. So it'll be the 4, 5, and 6 spots in the order due as Jack O'Dowd will step in. First pitch, breaking ball misses from the freshman right-hander. Hitters count now 2-0. Senior, Nashville, Tennessee native, transfer from Vandy.
Jack hit the ball hard a couple times last night. Just right at him.
Good location with that heater. You get to 2-0, you want to be able to let it go, but that's not a pitch you're going to go after. Threw that one by him, and it's 2-2.
You're not going to be able to pull that one either. Ball sinking away. You're doing the pitcher a favor if you try to pull it.
2-2. Popped up. Wynn will take it back out of play.
Got a stray ball down the left field line.
Steve Rodriguez.
Make sure you hold on to that.
Third base coaching box. Philip Miller, the first base box. It's going to be a tough play. Wynn grabs it in foul territory. With wind blowing like it is today, fly balls are not as much fun as everybody thinks. Well, that's an easy play. Not necessarily.
Similar to last night. Ball just looks like it's moving around on you when you're looking up.
Porter Brown will step in. Senior transfer from San Antonio. Looking for his first knock. 2024, 0 for 4 last night.
First changeup from Redeman right there. A good one. Had Porter Brown out in front.
One foul back. Laid off the breaking ball. Count evens at 2-2. Pretty good hack and fouled it away. You can see that great view from behind home plate of that shadow just now in front of home plate. As the day goes on, it will get more difficult to see. Lights are on here at the dish. Breaking ball misses outside. And the count full now.
See that sinker. See Porter try to shoot one down that left field line right here.
Changeup, had it off the end of the bat. Can he get to the bag? Yes, he does. Nice play. Rivich does his job. 3 unassisted if you're scoring. And 5 in a row retired to start the ball game.
3-2 changeup from the freshman right there. You don't really see that too often.
It's going to fool a lot of guys.
It is.
Nick Sanders, true freshman from Waco, will step in. First pitch breaking ball in there for a strike. Pulls this one foul into the dugout. Quickly down 0-2. Top of the clamshell. Still pretty good velocity.
He's sitting 91, 92 with that sinker.
Oh, 2, got him out in front. Knocked down, throw to first on the putout. First strikeout for the true freshman, but 6 in a row retired. We go to the 3rd.
Just a pea-sized amount of Lumi applied between your butt cheeks like this. I will demonstrate. Just kidding, I won't. Like this. We put Lumi to the test and compared it to a shower. 12 hours after a shower with soap and water, the average crotch has an odor score of 5 to 6 out of 10. 12 hours after a shower and applying Lumi, you're at a 0 out of 10. No odor all day. I'm not a mathematician, but I think it means that Lumi is infinitely more effective than a shower alone. So just take a shower or shower with Lumi and be 0 out of 10.
Let's talk about ED. As you get a little older, things tend to work a little differently.
I felt shame, embarrassment, guilt.
Like something had been knocked out from underneath me. What HIMS does is says, hey, look, don't worry about it. We got this part covered. 100% online.
The whole process was very discreet.
It made me feel like I'm a rock star.
This product has changed my life.
When it kicked in, I said, yeah, I'm back. I remember this feeling.
Get started today at 4hims.com.
University of San Diego, founded in 1958, it's made 9 appearances in the NCAA tournament, all of those since 2002, and defeated Vanderbilt in the 2022 regional. It was a great year. Last year it had a little struggles, but it goes back to one of the great players in college baseball history, and Chris Bryant. He was just outstanding. Hit 31 home runs that season, and that was the record for quite a long time. Was the #1 draft choice of the Chicago Cubs, led them part of leading them to the 2016 World Championship. I know that hurts your partner.
They beat the Tribe.
I know they did. But you look at it, but just Chris Bryant, 31 home runs. Well, there was a Longhorn that sort of broke that record.
A couple years ago.
Had
32, and that lasted all of a year.
Back to the top of the order for Charlie Hurley.
John Walton, remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
He was San Diego Torero back in the day. Brian Mattis.
Oh, it's
pitched
with
Baltimore.
I broadcast some games out there. It's a gorgeous location on top of the hill, right where Interstate 8 and Interstate 5 come together. Pretty close in that area up on the hill, off of the coast just a little bit. Gorgeous ballpark.
Yeah. San Diego's a good, fun city.
The 1-2 outside. Count evens at 2-2.
Hurley has been fished. I mean, first time through the order. 7 of 9 batters faced. He threw 4 pitches or less. It was 6 of 9 on first pitch strikes. And like you said earlier, all outs have been on the ground. 6 ground ball outs.
Gets his first strikeout. I tell you what, now let's look. You think about 30 home runs in college. It's just a phenomenal number. Chris Bryant did that in 2013, and it lasted for a long time until 2022, where Ivan hit 32 that set the record, and then 31 got hit last year, and how about 33 by the young man from Florida who's
freshman.
Back. This ball hit pretty well, but playable in center for the second out of the inning. I mean, 30 home runs in a college season, because most guys, Greg, get 240 plate appearances. That's a pretty big year.
It's a lot of plate appearances for the schedules now. Back in the day, we played close to 80, sometimes 90 games with different bats. So guys hit 48, 45, 47. But now with the schedules reduced and the
BB
bat's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, there was one year here, I think Texas, hit 14 total. I mean, it wasn't many.
Yeah, I opened this place. It was hard to hit one out of here. But since then, we had wind seemed like every day I played here just like this. We have today blowing in. We get a chance to visit with one of my teammates later today as they recognize Richard Wortham. Great to see the university do that on Saturdays all season long, home games.
He was okay.
Well, I had the great opportunity to play with him. The other part of that, the 2 best left-handed pitchers in baseball history will be sitting right beside me in about 2 innings.
That first 50-game winner.
Breaking ball just misses, and the count evens at 2-2. University history, but pretty close to baseball. I mean, college baseball history.
They had 50-plus wins.
On the ground. To second, O'Dowd has it. And a short frame. 1, 2, 3. And we go to the bottom of the third. USD leads by 1.
Are you affected by drug and alcohol addiction? Take the first step to a new beginning at Carrera Treatment Center. Call 888-383-5287 to live the life you were always meant to live.
Just a pea-sized amount of Lumi applied between your butt cheeks like this. I will demonstrate. Just kidding, I won't. Like this. We put Lumi to the test and compared it to a shower. 12 hours after a shower with soap and water, the average crotch has an odor score of 5 to 6 out of 10. 12 hours after a shower and applying Lumi, you're at a 0 out of 10. No odor all day. I'm not a mathematician, but I think it means that Lumi is infinitely more effective than a shower alone. So just take a shower or shower with Lumi and be 0 out of 10.
Lots of men have trouble performing their best in bed. For some guys, it's issues getting hard. For others, it's finishing too quickly. Either way, Hims can help. At 4hims.com, you can get clinically proven treatments from licensed medical providers, all from the comfort of home. With a 100% online process and free discreet shipping, it's never been easier to get hard, stay hard, and last longer than ever. Get started today with a free online consultation at 4hims.com.
Oh, the road to Omaha started yesterday across the country, and you look at Wake Forest. I mean, preseason #1, 5 preseason All-Americans, the most in all of Division I college baseball. And they're loaded. There is no question. They're going to be a tough team to beat. And you would look to see if LSU could go back-to-back. First team to do that since South Carolina did it in 2010 and 2011. And then how about the guy that the Longhorns are familiar with from Stanford? Transfers in to Texas A&M.
Homer in his first at-bat as an Aggie. He'll be here in a couple weeks. On a Tuesday, we get to see Braden Montgomery and the Aggies again.
And then St. John's will be here a week from Tuesday to play a midweek game, and they upset Florida. Tennessee and Tech, that was a good one last night, no question about it. And then Kansas State, for me, is this one of the sleepers in the Big 12. And they dropped a game at Cal. Some of the things happening on the first day as Max Blue will lead it off. Longhorns have sent 6 batters to the plate. All 6 have been retired by the
freshman out there looking pretty comfortable. Logan Reddeman.
Max Blue, the sophomore from Aledo, will step back in. On the ground. To his right, on the run. Good play. We've seen some good infield play here in this ball game here by both sides.
DeCrisio out there last night fielded one up the middle, kind of crawled back to the base to get the runner and make that look pretty easy. Casey Borba, a freshman on the team, and DeCrisio, high school teammates.
Yeah.
Out in California, also with Fries, the pitcher that came in last night.
I would think maybe that might be a meal together tonight somewhere. Galvan will step in, sophomore from Sinton, Longhorn catcher. See the numbers last season. Pitch just misses.
Just low right there.
Count evens at 1-1. Longhorns have great combination of uniforms, but this is a pretty cool one. They go with the burnt orange shoes, the cream uniform.
I like the cream.
Burnt orange caps and helmets. Block letter T, Texas across the front.
Back when I was with the Astros, cream was our road color.
Yeah.
We didn't have gray. It was cream.
Pitch just misses. Count evens, tried to dot the I with that fastball. 37th pitch of the afternoon coming. Got him. I tell you what, you look at it, coming on the road, first game, a hostile environment. Well, this defense has been really good. This is an outstanding play to get an out right there.
Got to get off that mound as a pitcher. He got off of it, got rid of it quick, and that's the play we're talking about right there. Up the middle, all in one motion, tagging the base with his glove was DeCrisio, and then this one, Karam's off the pitcher. Worthy was able to get to it. Excellent played game last night. Just one miscue in the game.
It was a tight-knit ball game for the opening game of the year. Came down to one blow. True freshman from Los Angeles will step in. Preseason freshman of the year as he steps in. 6'6" right-hander. Longhorn center fielder. Scored his first run, got his first knock of his career, and his first at bat last night. Over the top of that breaking ball. And it's 1-2. 8 in a row retired. This true freshman with a heck of a debut.
I mean, everything looks comfortable for him. Breaking ball right there, behind in the count. Getting the fastball in, getting some swing and misses with that fastball.
Missed his location there and got away with it. Fairly efficient too. I mean, less than 45 pitches in 3 frames. And as you mentioned earlier, first 6 out of 9 in first pitch strikes. Just missed, didn't get the call, wanted it.
He could have got that call and no one would have argued either way. It was right on the corner.
7th pitch of the at bat coming. First 3-ball count. Off of the fist to left, coming on quickly. Can't get there. It's going to fall in for a base hit. So the first base runner of the ball game for Texas.
You see Armas right there setting up down the middle, letting that sinker work in. And it did. Will Gasparino just muscles it out there in the left field in front of Austin Smith. Right down the middle, just let it run. Got off the end a little bit.
So back to the top of the order here. Here Thomas grounded out his first time up. Gasparino can run. Might see that in this at bat at some point. First pitch misses for ball 1. How about the ability to throw that breaking ball down in the count too?
He's done it for 3 innings now. I mean, again, for a freshman, just comfortable out there and has a good feel for it. Days like this, sometimes it's hard to get a feel for that. Ball's slick, the wind's blowing.
That shadow is creeping out in front. It's hard to get, gets harder and harder to see spin right now. Ripped into right. Thomas on his way to second with a hustling double.
I like the way he plays the game. Jared Thomas comes to the park ready to play every day. Gets another base hit right there. And I think if you watch Angelo Peraza out there, he's playing not that deep, but as the ball gets to him, he's going back. He's going back. He lets it get too far back. And I think Jared Thomas recognizes that and is able to get to second base. Kind of took a bad angle to it.
Yeah,
Jared
went
Thomas
around
getting
it.
extra base.
Yeah. Texas was 5 for 12 last night with runners in scoring position. Their first opportunity of the day happens right now here in the bottom of the 3rd. Back-to-back base hits with 2 outs. As Peyton Powell will step in. Lined out his first time up. This ball hit well to right with some carry at the wall. Can you say, get out of town, Peyton Powell?
Got a pitch elevated, Donk. Got one elevated, didn't swing hard. Put a nice, easy swing on it. It's only 97 miles an hour off the bat and 362 feet, but that's enough to give the Horns a 2-run lead. A 3-run shot right there by Peyton Powell.
2 outs, nobody on. Single, double, dinger.
Extra base hits. Yeah, that ball stayed right there. Nice. I mean, not much of a stride. That breeze, that's where you can get it if you're a left-handed hitter. You can get it down to that right side by the Texas bullpen.
First pitch in there for a strike. It happened in a hurry for Texas. 2 single, double, dinger on about 6 pitches. Popped up, right side, foul territory, puts it away, and that ends the frame. But not before the Longhorns get it done, Zeke.
With 2 outs. A blue single by Gasparino, a hustle double by Jared Thomas, and that one right there. Peyton Powell over the right field wall. His first of the year, the Horns take a 2-run lead.
Third of the game in the books, 3-0 Texas on the 3-run homer by Peyton Powell. You can see the numbers right there, 1-2-0. 3-3-0, all 3 of those hits happening back to back to back in the bottom of the 3rd. And Charlie Hurley gave up a run early, Zeke, but has since come back and done a nice job.
He gave up a couple hits and a walk in the 1st. San Diego got that run, but since then it has retired 8 in a row. And 8 of 12 in 4 pitches or less, so being efficient as well.
First pitch misses downstairs for ball 1. Changed speeds, had him out in front.
It's a good pitch for Charlie Hurley right there. Comes out of his hand looking fastball. About 10 miles an hour off the fastball. I like it.
1-1 delivery. Back to back.
He liked it too.
Yep. Fastball inside corner. '50th pitch of the day coming. Just gets a piece of it. I like that percentage. 66% of the time it's in the zone.
You're better at math than I am.
Would you know how to figure out earn average? I know you did. So
per out, I could.
So, you know, baseball players know math. I mean, from batting average and ERAs. Just missed inside corner. And for Hurley, look at the ground ball, see? He just started out to his first 6 outs all recorded on the ground.
He's kept the ball down with that sinker, keeping it off the barrel. That's moving. You're going to get the ground balls. And Charlie Hurley's done that. He has 1 strikeout, 1 fly ball. The rest have been on the ground.
Second walk issued. First to lead off an inning for Hurley.
Both walks to Gurovich.
Raza will step in. Inside corner for strike 1. Double play depth in the infield. Just misses up. The count evens. Cutter misses outside. Upstairs, good hitters count now after the leadoff walk. 3-1 count now. Bundled up.
Oh, he just got that.
Find some way to get a nap.
Home run, took a 2-run lead. Well, I think got to go out, get out there and throw strikes.
Playable to center. Going to have to come quickly as Flores. Can he get there? Yes, he can dive, and that's that wind pushing it in. Jumped off the bat. That's the tough read. Found a way to close the door and make that catch.
A tough read. That's also one now where the infielders, both Flores and O'Dell, can recognize that now and start to go out there with him maybe now. Because watch where he catches this ball at Bevo's nose. You see the corner outfielders got out there in a hurry too. They knew he had trouble picking it up, but gained ground very nicely with the catch.
Sometimes that first step back just gets you.
And when he took the step back, the sun got him. He had to put the glove up, and then he had to find the ball.
Dustin Smith will step in.
Got 7 ground ball outs. Try to get one right here. Get you a ground ball, double play, get out of the inning.
Tried to check his swing, could not. Smith will step back in. Downstairs, count evens. Early set to go. This team has gathered some momentum.
Pitch clock's at 3.
Throw to first.
Starts over.
The 1-1. Up and away. You mentioned it, he retired 8 in a row. And his team has just given him a lead and struggling a hair with command now. It's no interference, they're saying at home plate. There was a swing at home plate, but boy, it was very late. Watch this swing, it's very late.
Forgot he had a hit and run. There was no contact.
There was no contact.
See, all down and in. He gets out of the way of the pitch and then does the little half swing. There was no contact. He did hinder the throw. You could see Ryland kind of stopped. That's how it sailed over Flores's head. And O'Dowd caught it out in short center.
I believe the pitch will be a strike. I mean, he's definitely swung, even though the ball was past him.
Right. Now we got an offensive timeout. He's asked him what was that? Was having a little smile out there.
Well, there is a runner in scoring position after the stolen base. Tomorrow on LHN, we'll bring you the women's tennis top 15 matchup between number 12 Auburn and number 6 Texas. That's at 11 a.m. Following at 1 Central, it's the season finale between San Diego and the Texas Longhorns. So don't forget, tennis, Auburn and Texas at 11. Baseball, San Diego and Texas. You can catch it all right here on LHN and on the ESPN app. Busy Sunday here in Austin, Texas. After the stolen base, a runner into scoring position here. The count is 2-2 and the offensive timeout over. You get 3 of those in a ball game if you need them offensively. We have, I think this is discussion of the count, quite frankly.
Well, he swung, and it was 2-1 before the swing, so 2-2 should be the count, right?
I think he held up one finger. I'm not sure if it's 2-2 or 3-1. I guess we'll know after this pitch if it's a ball.
Find out right here.
Downstairs. So it was obviously 2-2. So Smith steps back in. Foul back. Do it again with a full count. And that shadow now really in effect. Makes it difficult to see spin. Almost halfway in between the pitcher and home plate. Sometimes difficult for outfielders to read that ball right off the bat, too.
Can't really see it.
Yeah. Downstairs, ball 4. Second walk of the frame.
Second of the inning, third of the game for Hurley, and David Pierce gonna have a little conversation with his right-hander.
Activity up and just starting in the Texas bullpen. Thomas will start to throw.
Easton Toomas, freshman down there, starting to get loose.
You can see the pitch count. Struggle in that first inning, where he gave up a run. 2 efficient frames. Now 1 out here after 19 pitches in the 4th.
Worthington coming up. He's showed bunt almost every time up. I mean, right now, Peyton Powell going to step in, take a couple steps in right here. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried it again. Maybe push it with him because the right side is open.
Worthington grounded to third his first time up. Inside step move. Worthington did not show anything on that move to give anything away. There you go. Bunted through it for strike 1.
He tried to pull back, just couldn't in time.
Thomas does move up a little bit at first base, though, as well. He backs up. Inside, count evens at 1-1.
A lot of times you position that first baseman on how well your pitcher can field his position. Charlie doesn't fall off very much, and he's a good athlete out there for being 6'8" on the mound.
Galvan keeps that in front. Pitch count going up quickly here for Hurley in the top of the fourth. This downstairs. Good hitters count now, 3-1.
Yeah, this is where Worthington, not much power, good day to pitch. I'd throw a fastball, elevate that fastball. It's the fourth straight 3-ball count for Hurley.
That loads the bases. Third walk of the frame. This could prompt a move to the bullpen right now.
I know he'd want to see Charlie Hurley get out of this right now. He's letting him know a little bit about it right there, too. Just had a conversation. Go back in the dugout. And he walks the next hitter. Now he's walked 2, well, 3. All the runners on base are from walks.
Max McGuire grounded to short his first time up. Downstairs for ball 1.
If he throws another ball, he might go get him with 2-0 count. He might.
Longhorns double play depth in the infield. Bases loaded here. 1 out. The 1-0. Breaking ball just misses. And it's 2-0.
You really can't take a strike right here, I don't think. The base is loaded. You're looking for that one big knock.
Downstairs. 3-0. Hey, you got to take one here. Right down Broadway and a big pitch. Wash, rinse, repeat, as we've often said in this scenario. You got to throw a strike here. Got to repeat it. He does in their first strike. And it's a full count.
Thinking out there on the mound, if I got to get this guy out if I want to stay in the game.
30th pitch of the inning coming right now. Dropped it in there with a breaking ball for the strikeout.
Yeah, David Pierce on his way to the mound after that strikeout. A big pitch right there. Just took a little bit off of it. I like it when my catcher gets excited about making a call and you making a pitch. You see Galvan with the fist pump right there. Excellent pitch by Hurley, but that will be the end of the day for him. Easton Toomas will come in this ball game with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
76 pitches on the day for Charlie Hurley. 31 of those in that top of the fourth inning that he didn't get out of. 3 2/3 innings of work, only going to have 1 run. He's responsible for all 3 base runners on base. What jumps off the page is obviously those 4 walks.
Yeah, that's why the 31 pitches in this inning. The 3 of those 4 came in this inning from Charlie Hurley, but Texas still has an opportunity to get out of the inning without giving up a run. They're going to try to do that with Easton Toomas.
A freshman from Friendswood.
Here you go, freshman. Bases
Into the
loaded.
game.
Good fastball, slider. Changeup's a little firm, but we heard that first pitch there. Likes the slider. With a good fastball, he needs to find it right here in this situation.
It's interesting to come into the game. You will face the number 9 hitter Ariel Armas grounded out his first time up against Hurley, number 9 spot in the order. Might be tough to get a little air your first collegiate appearance, and they're loaded.
As a hitter, bases loaded, you know the kid's going to try to throw a strike right here. You try to jump on that first one when you've never seen him before.
Comes set. First pitch in there, first strike. Filled it up. The 0-1. Breaking ball misses downstairs. Nice block. Keep that in front. Freshman woke up this morning, wasn't sure what it was going to happen. His day was going to be like. Well, all of a sudden he's in the game with them loaded. 1-1. Popped up.
Nobody saw it.
Back on top of the clamshell.
It is with that sun. Anything in the air, right when you look up, you're looking right up in the sun. It's tough to. Peyton Powell saw it. He's over there in the shade, kind of at an angle.
So 1-2. Just missed. Count evens at 2-2.
A little off, a little down, not by much.
Comes set, the 2-2. Just missed again. Runners will be off here with the pitch, with a full count. The payoff, there go the runners. Inside corner, strike 3 call with the fastball. Welcome to Division I college baseball.
They're going to make it interesting right there. Made some pitches, didn't get the call, but came right back. Did Easton Toomas on the inside part of the plate. Gets the call, gets it out of the inning. Texas still has the lead.
Let's talk about ED. As you get a little older, things tend to work a little differently.
I felt shame, embarrassment, guilt.
Like something had been knocked out from underneath me. What HIMS does is says, hey, look, don't worry about it. We got this part covered. 100% online.
The whole process was very discreet.
It made me feel like I'm a rock star.
This product has changed my life.
When it kicked in, I said, yeah, I'm back. I remember this feeling.
Get started today at 4hims.com.
Great view of the dish. 3-0, a 3-spot. Peyton Powell's 3-run homer, bottom of the third, the difference. San Diego threatened, got him loaded in the top of the fourth, but true freshman comes in to get a huge strikeout.
Yeah, right before that, Charlie Hurley got a big strikeout and was taken out of the game and making his Texas debut. Easton Toomas right there. See, Galvan gets it. Armas tried to negotiate for a second, but you see it cut right back in, right at the end, right on the corner. Big strikeout to get Texas out of that inning.
How about the other freshman right-hander who has pitched pretty well for San Diego? He was over there in the dugout in this cool weather for 27 minutes.
That's a long time. I know Texas has heaters. I believe they might have one in their dugout, but sometimes it makes it worse. Sitting over there, staying nice and warm, and then get back out there in the cold breeze. Logan Litterman holding his own today, has not walked a hitter. Gave up that 3-run home run to Peyton Powell, like you said. The only big blow that's come in this game.
Jack O'Dowd will lead it off. First pitch misses upstairs for ball 1. I mean, at the next level, there are machines that you can get on and get your eggs, exercise machines, keep your body temperature up. You can get around in the dip. There's not that here.
No.
You were in the cold. Fouled over. It might be a heater or two in that dugout, but not sure how much heat's in that dugout. I know there's not much in this booth.
Well, there's not any in this booth.
The 1-1 to O'Dowd. Breaking ball just misses. Good straight change. Had him out in front.
It is. I mean, I like what I've seen out of Redeman. He doesn't overthrow. Nice and easy. The breaking ball's good. You just saw the changeup. That's good.
Skied in the infield. Tough play. Who's going to call for it? Barely comes up with it. Fly balls are not fun today.
Aparicio almost pushing Costello out of the way here. This is my ball, but now watch. He's got to go back another 4 or 5 feet the other way. And then just gets it in the web. That's close.
Porter Brown will step in. Backdoor breaking ball, catches the corner. Brown steps back in. Good heater upstairs, couldn't catch up to it. 60th pitch coming from the true freshman. I really like his mound composure. He in hostile environment, playing at Texas on the road. First time you've towed the rubber in the collegiate level. He's been impressive.
Yeah, he's nice and calm.
Count evens at 2-2. Missed outside and the count goes full.
He's had success with the 3-ball counts. Is either change up or just throwing the fastball. That Texas hadn't been able to pick it up very well.
The payoff.
Went to the breaking ball right there.
First walk issued today to Porter Brown. Nick Sanders, freshman from Waco, will stride to the plate. Strikeout victim his first time up. Up and away with a heater. Some light tossing, but nobody really up throwing in the San Diego bullpen, but that'll prompt a visit.
A little catch down there.
In these kind of conversations that you see, like a lot of times, this is allowing somebody to get loose. It's also a scenario where you're,
Ivan Romero starting to throw down there for San Diego. Now he's got the weighted balls. Trying to stay loose.
So Sanders steps back in. Brown always a threat to run. '65th pitch of the day coming. Right side. Just, ooh, look out, hit that wall extremely hard. Is he okay? Wow. That was a heck of an effort.
Breeze kept taking it. You see, he's going to hit the wall, and it's got the netting right above the wall, and he kind of gets hung up in it. Glove gets hung up, hat goes sideways. Great effort.
I mean, that's 3 inches of padding, but behind that padding is a 6-inch concrete wall. The 1-1. Hooked foul, and I mean hooked into the parking lot.
Well, there it is.
Did it bounce back?
It was way over there.
Sanders will step back in with a 1-2 count. There goes Brown. Pitch up and away. Throw to second. In time to get Brown.
Good throw and a good tag, a good jump. Everything going right here. Had an excellent jump.
What a tag.
Tagged him on the back.
Just before that foot. That's a good call.
It was.
So 2-2 to Sanders. Just gets a piece of it to keep it alive. Well, that was a quick snap throw. That was impressive.
Saw the jump that Porter got. He was halfway there before almost got the ball.
The 2-2 again. Did he get him? Yes, he did, and that ends the inning. We go to the 5th. Texas up 3-1. We will visit with College Hall of Famer Richard Wortham when we come back. Gets it all the way to the plate from the mound.
Lots of men have trouble performing their best in bed. For some guys, it's issues getting hard. For others, it's finishing too quickly. Either way, Hims can help. At 4hims.com, you can get clinically proven treatments from licensed medical providers, all from the comfort of home. With a 100% online process and free discreet shipping, it's never been easier to get hard, stay hard, and last longer than ever. Get started today with a free online consultation.
Champions right there, 49-50, 75-83, 02, and 05. Well, we have the starting pitcher in the national championship game in 1975, my teammate, Richard Wortham. I have the opportunity to sit here, Richard, I said earlier, with the 2 best left-handers in Longhorn history. And one of the things I want to ask you, when you came out of Odessa and came to school, what was one of the first thoughts you thought when you arrived and we saw Old Clark Field?
Well, you know, I'd seen that field when Odessa High came to play in the state championship in basketball, and we were actually walking down the street, and you know how short the right field porch was.
Yes, it was.
There's a home run ball came over. I said, boy, that's a pretty neat place to go. So I went and looked, but you know, to go in and see a field like that, it's hard to describe for people who've never seen it, but it was certainly a great home field advantage.
There was no question about it. As we start the top of the 5th inning, Richard, one of the other things that people don't realize, and I know you went through it in a volunteer situation, this ball ripped on the ground, bobbled, but up across the diamond and gets it out. In between our sophomore and junior season, you were injured at Gregory Gym, and just battling back through that. Just talk about the mental state it took to get through that.
Well, it was kind of a weird deal. I mean, there was a freight elevator broke behind Gregory Gym, and I unfortunately happened to be on it. And we fell 2 floors. And there was no safety net to catch you, and I had a steel rod stuck in the front of my shin. And you know, I didn't really notice. I didn't really know how bad I was hurt. I went into the student health center, and luckily enough, Dr. Julian was there and performed surgery. He ended up cutting out half the muscles that lift up my foot. So when I left when we got out of the school for the break at Christmas, I couldn't walk. And, of course, I'd done a lot of rehab with Spanky Stevens, Danny Wheat. They were great. And I just was lucky enough to rehab. They never did tell me this, but they told me there was a chance after I got better. They told me, said there was a chance you may never walk again. And so it was just a slow grind for that whole junior year. You had to go to a lot of physical therapy prior to the games, after the games. But, God had a plan for me, and I was really lucky enough.
I'm glad you were there. I was glad you were there because when the ball came around the diamond, I've told Zeke this before, at the end of a game, folks, at the end of an inning, ball's thrown down, start of the game, shortstop usually gets it, or second baseman, short to third. I turned to throw it to Richard, and I knew the game was over right then. I'm just going to
see it in his eyes.
Well, sometimes if you watch me pitch, Keith, I can make a short game long. And if I knew I had good control in the early part of the game, I was going to be fine. And luckily enough, I pitched a really good game. But if I could get out of the first couple of innings, because I had a tendency to overthrow in the beginning, you know how that goes.
Yeah.
And but really, there was a play made in the first inning. There's a hard hit ball up in the middle. Blair Stover went in, caught it, picked it up, and threw him out. And after that, I just kind of settled in, and I guess the rest is history.
I'm glad it is.
Yeah, I am too.
I went to the website, and in 1975, y'all were national champions. Yourself, Jim Gideon, and Martin Flores were 42-2 that season.
Yeah, we had. I don't know who. Must have been me. Hessel probably lost one because I don't think Jim lost any. And Martin might have lost one.
He was undefeated. I think you had one, and Martin, but the 1-7 combined. I mean, that staff had to be.
We were tough, and the interesting thing about when we played and they play now is. When I got the ball at the first game, I expected to be out there for 9 innings.
Exactly.
And I didn't, and more times than not, I pitched into the 7th, 8th, and obviously completed a lot of games. But
you're the all-time complete game.
Well, if you're here for 25 years, you're gonna have that record. But we did have a really good pitching staff. We had a great defense. The hitting, especially coming into this field now, the way it used to be, you had to be a real man to hit one out.
Yeah, you did.
And today, it adds a lot more excitement. So they moved the fences in, but we had really a complete team.
So this thing, yesterday's 50 years the dish has been here.
Yeah.
And y'all were the first guys to play on.
Exactly. Yeah, and it was going from the old Clark Field, grass field, to turf.
Oh, yeah, it was a real rude awakening, wasn't it?
The one thing about it is, you're on turf, you don't ever get a rain out hardly. And I remember when we used to get over at Clark Field, you'd have Coach Gus, Coach Pathay out there with their propane burners burning off the infield.
We tried one night, we jumped the fence and put the water hose on the base paths.
Well,
it didn't work. He had the propane heater out there burning it up.
Yeah, they didn't want to lose many practices nor any games.
Well, that pitch is upstairs. Just if you can remember this, Richard, right here. That's the way it looked when we went into it. Nothing down the foul lines. Remember, it was just bare.
Yeah, it exactly was. I mean, they've done a super job, and I think last year was the first time I was ever gone into the locker room, and I was amazed. Yeah, well, a lot different. Certainly a lot different than old Clark Field.
Our locker room's still over there, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but they've done a super job here, and they need to be commended on the commitment to the program.
And then now we've got a Yeti yard out in left center.
Well, that might not be I was talking to the young lady earlier, and she said that's kind of the first 140 people get in, and that's a neat concept. And so looks like they're serving drinks on each end of the Yeti yard, so life will be good.
We had the Grand Slam go in there last night, so they were throwing Yeti yards everywhere.
Yeah, I thought it looked like it was raining out there. I thought they had the sprinklers on.
Well, first and second here with one out in a 3-1 ball game. We're visiting with Richard Wortham.
Also on that Wikipedia page, that's in 1973, was at the Pan Am Games. You went up against El Presidente.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
and beat him.
Yeah, in Nicaragua, actually.
Yeah.
You know, I was lucky enough to play on 4 USA teams while I was at UT. The first year I was a freshman, they had the Japanese, a group of Japanese all-star came and we played at Dodger Stadium and Anaheim Stadium. And then we had the World Baseball Tournament. That was where I did that. And then I played at the Pan American Games in Mexico City in '75. And then, of course, Keith and I and Rick Bradley had the opportunity to go to Japan for, I guess that was a couple of weeks. And we didn't embarrass ourselves too bad there. But life was good then.
Well, then Zonk's changed a little bit.
He has. He doesn't run near as fast as he used to.
It's bases loaded here, guys. We got to get back to it. We were loving and enjoying visiting with Richard, but we got bases loaded here with one out. Ball foul back out of play.
Well, I know Zonk is a great TV partner. What kind of teammate was Zonk?
Well,
had to be the same.
He was money.
Yeah.
Is all you could say. I mean, you know, when you wanted Keith at the plate when you needed runs, and more times than not, he delivered.
Well, I'll try to anyway. 0-1. Off of the end of the bat, out to left. Porter Brown comes on, tagging. Is this going to be a play at the plate? In the transition, did he catch it? We'll see what happens here.
Calling him out at third. Third base umpire is calling him out. Yeah, he went into transition right there and then dropped the ball. The run was going to score easily. Porter Brown didn't think so because he got rid of it to third pretty quickly.
Get a chance to see it on the replay here.
You can see he's going in to get it right there and just doesn't come out cleanly. Good call, but a run. It's a 3-2 ball game.
Sacrifice fly. Well, Richard, when you got out of baseball, I know you went to work and were involved in the cattle business, not as a cattle grower as much as working for the Texas Beef Council.
Exactly. Yeah, I had the privilege to be able to work for them for 32 years. We were the promotion, research, and information arm of the cattle industry, and you know, being able to work for those people was truly a blessing. They don't expect much other than hard work and honesty, and you put in a good day's work, and be able to work for the people who take care of the land and livestock. What a rewarding experience.
It's rewarding to be your teammate, brother. Thanks for visiting
pleasure.
with us.
Great to see you.
Good, Greg. You bet.
Tend to work a little differently.
I felt shame, embarrassment, guilt.
Like something had been knocked out from underneath me. What HIMS does is says, hey, look, don't worry about it. We got this part covered. 100% online.
The whole process was very discreet.
It made me feel like I'm a rock star.
This product has changed my life.
When it kicked in, I said, yeah, I'm back. I remember this feeling.
Get started today at 4hims.com.
Halfway home here. 4.5 in the books. Texas with a 3-2 lead as San Diego puts one on the board in the top of the fifth. We really enjoyed visiting with College Hall of Famer Richard Wortham. Tell you what, between y'all two, right at 1,000 strikeouts. Think about that.
Well, that's a guy that, before I got to Texas, you know, you look at guys that played before you, he set the bar. I mean, Richard Wortham, Jim Gideon, those guys, they set the bar.
Bottom of the fifth inning here, as you know, you look at that now. Zeke, your team's come back, got your run. You scuffled, but got through the fourth inning, and you got a true freshman back out there again. At what point do you get to the end of that window here? I mean, because it's got to be closing in. This is the first opportunity to go to the mound in his career.
Yeah, get to the bottom of the order here for Texas. You're gonna, I imagine a base runner. They got a lefty going in the bullpen down there. This will be 70 pitches coming up for the freshman. And leave him out there as long as he's getting outs. Try to keep it at just a one-run deficit right now.
Breaking ball in there for a strike. Count evens to Ballou. Max grounded to short his first time up. Ball on the ground to second. Worthington up with it. Go to first. For the first out here in the 5th. You know, it's a cold day. That shadow now out past the mound. Only 7 hits in the ball game. It's been one of those days where you knew offense was going to be that type of game. In fact, I'm surprised we've had 4 runs on the board already. As long as you throw strikes.
Well, Richard Wortham was up here. The Toreros got their first extra base hit of the weekend.
Infield knock for Galvan. Comes up with a 1-out single.
Calvin Shapira. The lefty's been throwing down there. And there's Lucrecio again. Gets to it. Just a little offline right there. Galvan getting down that line.
Gasparino will step in. Single to start the rally in the 3rd. Scored a run on the homer by Powell. For the end of the bat. Foul. Long pause this time.
Jared Thomas a little too close to the plate right there with his spray stickum.
Fastball misses. Count evens at 1-1. Double play depth in the infield.
I don't think they reminded too much that where Jared was, but there's that spray can of stickum out there, and it was closer to the plate than he was.
You can see the can right there. We used to have pine tar and some other stuff. Now they got
went from pine tar to a stick to a spray.
Yep. Bender in there for a strike. Inside corner. That's the one that freezes you, Zeke.
It can freeze you, but it can also go the other way. A long way.
Came right back in that same spot. Stayed inside that time. Count evens at 2-2. 78th pitch.
They got the lefty ready in the bullpen, and 4 of the 5 next hitters for Texas are left-handed. We might see that lefty in the game.
Up and away. And the count goes full. Catcher at first base. I doubt you'll see him in motion here. Speed had him out in front.
He's been seeing quite a few breaking balls as Gasparino. You see enough of them, though, you start getting your timing down.
Big pitch here, 3-2 again. There goes the runner. Throw to second. He was running. Not in time. They're going to say interference at the plate, and the runner is out going to second base. So that's going to end the frame. The runner is out, then the batter is out on the strikeout, and that ends it here in the 5th. Let's take one look at this, Zeke.
Gasparino's momentum on the swing kind of takes him across the plate right here. And I think there might have been a little contact. They called it.
On the mound, the third pitcher of the ball game for the Texas Longhorns is sophomore left-hander Luke Harrison, coming back from surgery. One of those scenarios where you look at, boy, he really was affected 2 years ago. See if he can come back and be the same guy that he was, Zeke, before the injury.
They could rely on him. He would come out of that bullpen throwing strikes. Good to see Luke back out there after been a while. Almost, what, a year and a half for Luke. So a big moment for him and a big moment in this game. Texas got the 1-run lead here in the 6th inning.
Now, you look at the ball game, 2 runs, 4 hits if you're just tuning in. San Diego jumped out with a 1-0 lead in the first. The Longhorns got all 3 of their runs on one swing of the bat. Peyton Powell's 3-run homer on a day when getting it out of the ballpark is not easy. And USD came back with 1 in the top of the 5th. Where we stand here 3-0, but in the 3rd inning. This is the difference in the game right now, Zeke.
Yeah,
got a ball and got a great extension.
One of the few mistakes that the freshman made right there. That ball just stayed on the plate. Peyton Powell put it over the wall. His first of the year.
Senior from Robinson. And again, it's a day offense has been tough to come by. 5 runs total in the game, 8 total hits in the game. Neither team has made a miscue. Bottom third of the order due here for San Diego in the 6th inning on a frigid afternoon. It is starting to cool off again as the sun starts to set.
Yeah, I'm starting to
it's
shiver a little bit.
So Harrison's first pitch in there for a strike. Worthington has walked and grounded to third in his 2 plate appearances. Out to right, going to be a tough play, coming on as quickly as Blue puts it away for the first, looking up into that sun. Puts it away for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, now the sun and the wind got everything going out there.
It's mostly been from left center in toward home plate. Now it's almost blowing directly into home plate as McGuire steps in and fouls this off right side.
Plinko.
That
one came down. There's a lot of baseballs up on that roof.
To come down in the 1,000, 10,000, or 0. I think that's in the middle, right? I watched way too much whatever that Drew Carey foul back. Price is right. Quickly 0-2. Quick pitch.
I like it.
I mean, instead of finishing his windup, you got about halfway through and he brought it.
It's all about disrupting timing, and that can do it right there.
The 1-2. Got him with an off-speed pitch for the strikeout. Pull the string.
See, that little quick pitch can set that up right there. Quick pitched him before, and now you're getting on it, and now he stays back and throws the changeup, just drops it right on the plate.
Armas will step in. He is 0 for 2 as he steps in. First pitch way upstairs for ball 1. Hitters count now 2-0. This ball hammered, but into the traffic. Wind will hold this ball up. Porter Brown with a chance. That ball was smoked. Wrong day. 1-2-3 goes USD. We go to the bottom. Texas up by 1. Hook 'em in the building. 3-2 Texas lead. San Diego jumped out 1-0. 3 spot in the bottom of the third for Texas. USD with a run. Preseason poll in the Big 12, Zeke, with the thing that jumps off the page is obviously we see, you always think about Oklahoma State, you always think about TCU and Tech. Kansas State, and a surprising one to me was Oklahoma as low as it was.
Yeah, I mean, they had a good year last year. Made a little run. Yeah, tied for 6th with West Virginia down there. It's fun. Be fun. Got the new teams in there. Central Florida, BYU, Cincinnati, U of H, Cougars.
Big 12 may have the #1 pick, overall pick, playing in the league.
Switching positions from what he did last year.
Yeah.
J.J. Weatherholt in West Virginia.
Got a new left-hander into the game. He's a senior. Sapara, Calvin. See the numbers?
Graduate transfer. He's been to USC. He's been to Central Arizona College and a couple of years at Purdue. Now at San Diego.
Bloomington, Indiana, San Diego, California. I was thinking the same thing as Jared Thomas steps in. JT doubled his last time up, 1 for 2. Off to a fantastic start. He is 3 for 5 to start the season. He has scored a run ahead of the 3-run homer. Breaking ball misses outside.
Texas with those 3 runs in the third with 2 outs. A single, a double, and then the 3-run homer by Peyton Powell.
Texas has 10 ribbies in this series. All 10 ribbies coming from the top third of the order. And that breaking ball in there for a strike.
And 7 of them on 2 swings of the bat. Good slider by Shapiro froze Jared Thomas right there for the first out.
Man of the match so far for Texas. Peyton Powell will step in. He has lined out and hit a 3-run homer. Difference in the game right now. Ball downstairs as he squares to bunt. Laced foul. I guess if you pitch, well, you said that even cold in your time playing for the Tribe, it was cold in Cleveland. I know it was. You didn't pitch with sleeves even then?
I think I did. That's a long time ago, Zone. I've seen baseball cards with sleeves on. I didn't like them.
This ball hit pretty well to left with some carry, but this wind going to knock it down. Nice job by Smith to put it away for the 2nd out of the inning.
I didn't like them, but sometimes you have to give in to the elements when it's freezing. I had one. You talked about your coldest game was in the 20s.
Yeah, game started at 19, ended up about 23 in Olympic Stadium in Montreal.
Oh, that's north of the border cold too. I had one in Baltimore. It was only about 37 degrees, but there was a wind breeze like this. It was about 25 miles an hour. It felt like about 12 degrees. I went into the 11th inning that game.
Well, you're the only warm one in the building.
And had 94 pitches. Everybody was hacking. Mike Morgan went 9 that game. That's when Baltimore couldn't catch a break. If wouldn't they lost, what, 24 in a row
yeah.
to open the season or something?
Flores steps back in. 0 for 2 in this one. Nice job fielding his position. Underhands to first, and 1, 2, 3 goes Texas. Here in the 6th, 2/3 of the game in the books. We go to the 7th. Texas up by 1.
performing their best in bed. For some guys, it's issues getting hard. For others, it's finishing too quickly. Either way, Hims can help. At 4hims.com, you can get clinically proven treatments from licensed medical providers, all from the comfort of home. With a 100% online process and free discreet shipping, it's never been easier to get hard, stay hard, and last longer than ever. Get started today with a free online consultation at 4hims.com.
Bearing the elements today here at the Dish. It's been a good one. 8 hits in the ball game, 4 for each club, 5 runs in the game, and 3-2 Texas lead. Got to bundle up, got to try to stay warm as Harrison out for his second inning of work. He'll be facing top of the order.
Luke hadn't been out there in a while. Came in and got a 1-2-3 in his first appearance since arm surgery.
Top of the order due here. Frizio will step in, looking for his first base hit of the day. He's 0 for 3 as he steps in. He's been a catalyst for this club. Outstanding defensive shortstop.
Hit the ball hard last time, but right at Flores. It's short. Bobbled it, but able to throw him out at first.
To left, playable for Brown. Out number 1. Harrison's retired all 4 batters that he's faced here since coming into the game. Nosey got away with it. You know, sometimes you're rolling right along and you get away with a pitch. Sometimes pitchers don't acknowledge that, and sometimes I think they over-acknowledge that. Oh, I didn't make a very good pitch. I said, well, you got an out.
When it's an out,
it's an out.
It doesn't matter. And today you can get away with some.
Yeah.
With the breeze.
Allen steps in, singled, scored in the first. His second single of the game. This ball gets away. This is going to get all the way to the wall. This is trouble. Allen on his way to second. He will be into third. So the tying run now, 90 feet away.
Max Blue for a second thinks he can get to this ball. Tries to hold up, gets by him. A mistake right there. Letting the ball get by you. It's a single and an E9.
It's interesting. You bring the infield up here with a 1-run lead in the top of the 7th. Texas does not. Powell is the only guy up, and he's at third. Breaking ball, did he go? Yes, he did. If you got a strikeout, this is when you need it.
It's just strike out or pop up to the infield. Something on the infield right here. Ground ball to third.
1 for 2 on the day. He has walked and singled. Good slider. Big swing and a miss. San Diego is 2 out of 3 with a man at third and less than 2 outs of getting that guy home in today's ball game. Just got a piece of it to keep the at-bat alive. Harrison set. The 0-2 again. On the ground to short. This is going to tie the ball game. Throw to first in time, but getting the job done, getting that guy in from third. And just like that, we're all tied up.
Second time today a ground ball has scored a run. But 2 of the 3 runs have come in on just ground balls to the infield. nonetheless, getting the runners in is the most important thing. It's a tie game.
Grovich will step in. Good break of ball. Swings and misses for strike one. He has 2 walks and a single. Moves inside almost like a changeup. That was a weird looking pitch.
80 miles. I always look at the speed of the pitch. That's about a slider speed, or I mean changeup. Changeup, lefty, lefty. You don't see a lot.
Not very often. .20 pitches now for Luke. The 2-1 on the ground. O'Dowd can't come up with it. Dives, can't come up with it. Sixth hit of the ball game. Raza.
You see, Jared Thomas also thinks about going after that. So if he does come up with that baseball, he's going to have to wait a second before Jared Thomas gets to the base.
So that in-between ball, or hit the pitcher on the run. Big swing, foul tip for strike one. Drove in a couple of runs today with a ground out and a sac fly. This ball into left field. So back-to-back base hits. And USD with go-ahead run in scoring position.
3 hits in the inning, 7 in the game. Now for San Diego.
USD 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position today. Have one again here. Go ahead run on the top of the 7th. First pitch misses outside for ball 1.
19 hits in the 2 games so far. Just the 1 double. Dustin Allen doubled down the right field in the 5th inning.
Evens the count at 1-1. Catches the corner. Chance to make a pitch and get out of the frame right here.
Texas got a couple arms thrown in the bullpen. Andre Duplantier, the righty on the left.
Boogie Whitehead on the right. Got him. Foul tip into the glove. Ends the inning, but not before damage done, as the Toros tie it up. 7th inning stretch time. Here it comes right here. With a ball that gets away from Max Ballou, leads to a guy at third. The ground ball ties it up. 7th inning stretch time. Cotton Eye Joe going on in a tie ball game here. A lot of people up and stretching. They're bouncing, trying to get warm.
They might not sit back down.
Yeah,
after getting up, moving around a little
they're
bit.
just trying to find a way to get some warmth in their body. Jack O'Dowd will lead it off. Shapira is out for his 2nd inning work. He was outstanding. 3rd time today that O'Dowd has led off an inning. Chops this ball on the ground right side. Worthington has it. Fires to first just in time to get an out. And this lefty out of the bullpen has come in and thrown up outs.
Throwing strikes, getting the ball over the plate, letting the defense do the work.
Porter Brown will step in. He walked and grounded out. So 0 for 1 as he steps in. Top of the zone for a strike. Bender in there for a strike. Filling it up right now. No sleeves at all.
You're not cold.
He's not cold. To left with some carry. This is going to be a tough play. Diving in foul territory. Did he make that play?
Wow.
If he did, it's outstanding. One of the great plays you'll ever see. As he comes up with it, does Smith. What a play. And able to get up and get back into the ball game. That was a tremendous catch.
Yeah, ball kept carrying, and I didn't think there was any way he was going to keep going after it to try to get it, but he did. And dives right there, and then it crashes into the wall. Almost under the padding. You see his hand kind of got bent back a little bit. Head, knee, foot. But held on to the baseball. That's an outstanding catch right there. Like holding his knee. Got a little bit of everything out there.
I'm telling you what, that's a Sports Center top 10 nominee right there. Just an outstanding play.
We got smiles. He's going back into the sun, knowing the wall's there. There's a lot going on in that play, and then to give up your body.
Austin Smith, what a play. It's just spectacular. You would think right there he's got to give up on it, and he lays out and in tremendous contact with the wall.
I think being left-handed was in his favor right there. Able to just kind of slide down as he's catching the ball instead of going across his body. He even looks in his glove and looks for the baseball. Man.
I think it's his wrist that bothered more than anything else.
Yeah, when he hit the wall, it kind of bent back, and the ball stayed in the glove.
Sanders will step in. 0 for 2 on the day as he steps in. Pitch in there for a strike with an off-speed pitch. Count evens at 1-1. Skied. Wind will take it into foul territory and back out of play.
Griffiths gave up on it. He looked up in the sun and then lost it. He couldn't find it after that. Threw his hands up like, I surrender.
Downstairs. Count evens. What a job out of the pen. 5 in a row retired. The USD left-hander. Paints the fastball to end the inning. One of the best catches you'll ever see any time of the year at any level as Austin Smith goes into the corner, Zeke. What an outstanding play.
Giving up his body, knowing the wall's there, and makes an outstanding catch.
Network Baseball is brought to you by Whataburger. There's breakfast, and then there's Whataburger breakfast, served 11 p.m. to 11 a.m.
Beautiful view of the dish here on a Saturday afternoon. It is a cool one, and out of the bullpen, Andre Duplantier comes into the game, the junior from Humble. He comes on here in a tie ball game in the top of the 8th, Zeke.
Yeah, coming in, try to keep that lead. See, numbers last year weren't bad for Andre. No record of 2.4 ERA. Good fastball. He had the curveball, working on a cutter now is Dre. Opportunity for him in this ball game to prove again that there's a lot of arms in that coming out of that bullpen. And they've had a good weekend so far.
Yeah, the bullpen's done a nice job. Harrison, who came on and gave up the run, but it was an unearned run. I mean, the base hit, it turned into 3 bases after the error. Now, there was a couple of hits later. Well, I guess that could be.
There weren't any extra base hits, so it would take 3 singles to score you.
We'll get that idea. Was that a earned run or an unearned run? We'll get that information to you, but it's a tie game. It doesn't matter right now. Tied at 3 is bottom third of the order due for USD. It was an unearned run. Break a ball in there for a strike. Maybe that cutter.
I think it is. Both of them back to back. Velocity 85, 86. Right on the inside corner.
The 0-2. There's a little more spin to that one.
Breaking ball right there. The first 2 cutters are inside. You'd like the cutter to be away from the right-handed hitter.
The 1-2. Downstairs, a little bit off of that one. The count evens. Got him.
Right back at him with the fastball. This one just down the middle, and Worthington unable to catch up with it. Right about let her high.
McGuire will step in. Scheduled hitter. May have a pinch hitter here. Cortez. Cortez, a freshman. Linwood, California, will step in. First pitch in there for a strike. In the DH role here. Breaking ball dropped in there. And it's quickly 0-2.
I like that breaking ball from Andre. Late bite to it.
The 0-2. Asked did he go? He did not. There's an umpire in there behind all that cover.
Yeah, who's that?
It is Chile. Tied him up inside. Now that cutter away would be dynamite pitch.
You got a freshman making his first at bat here for San Diego. I like the curveball.
There it was. Just got a piece of it.
Hung in there with it too. Didn't fool him with that one. Now you try that cutter.
There's the cutter on the ground. Powell has it, goes across the diamond for the second out of the inning. Coming out of the box here. A little bit of a stumble.
We called that Murph the turf.
Seen him make some good tackles in football. Lewis steps in 0 for 3. It's interesting. 3 times in his first 3 at-bats, he made the last out of an inning. He's got a chance to do it 4 times here. This is outside. Count evens at 1-1. You like your leadoff guy to be leading off, but you know.
Not 5 times.
He will be doing that 5 times if Duplantier gets it recorded out here. Did he check his swing? Did not appeal. They appeal. He did not.
Work a little quick here.
He's ready to rock.
I like it.
Downstairs, and it's 3-1. One in the first, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 7th for USD. Texas got all 3 of theirs on Peyton Powell homer in the bottom of the 3rd. The 2-out walk will bring the top of the order back to the plate here.
They've held DeGrisio in check today. 0 for 4. The guy that's been given on fifths is on deck. Dustin Allen, 3 for 4, scored all 3 runs.
That means to me, that sounds like this is a big out.
Yeah, I need to get this one.
Downstairs for ball 1. Dre comes set. Catches the outside corner. Count evens at 1-1. Tried to bunt his way on a breaking ball.
He followed that one.
A little give and take, wasn't it? Now 1-2. Infield will move back. 20th pitch of the inning coming for Duplantier. Fouled it back. Out of play. It's a good day to have a blanket at the ballpark.
Or 2.
Maybe one you could had a battery on it, and you could it had a little heater in it. The 1-2. Nice job keeping that in front. Count evens. Duplantier set, checks the runner. Outside corner, strike 3 called, and that ends the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the order due for Texas. Covered up in the Yeti yard in a good one here. Tie ball game, bottom of the 8th inning. Sun starting to set. It says 50 degrees on the big board. I don't believe that. The wind chill has been in the 30s most of the day. Covered up, but it's been a good one. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for San Diego. 3 hits, 4 runs. 4 hits, 3 runs, excuse me. 1 error for Texas. That one, a big one. As we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, we could have a pinch hitter here to start the frame, and we do. As Tommy Farmer Jr., the 4th, excuse me, 6'3", 205-pounder, freshman from Santa Monica, California, will make his first plate appearance as a Longhorn. First pitch downstairs for ball 1. Pulled foul by the food trucks onto the concourse. And a souvenir. The 1-1. Inside. 2-1.
Surprised been filling it up. I mean, hitting spots. That one doesn't miss by much.
2-1 delivery. Count evens at 2-2. Bronx cheer from the home crowd. Thought that ball was down. The 2-2. It goes full. Big pitch here. Just threw it by him with the fastball for the strikeout.
7 in a row. Retired by the big left-hander. 3 by strikeouts. Farmer doing a little favor right there, going out of the zone a little bit.
Galvan will step to the plate. He's 1 for 2. Singled his last time up, an infield single. Downstairs for ball 1. He does have power to right and right center. The 1-0. This is down and away. Hitters count now. Not going to do much with that pitch down and away.
You're not looking for a 2-0 breaking ball right there either. I mean, that was a good one. Down and away.
Fouls it straight back and the count evens. The 2-2. Just missed his spot there, not by much. .30 pitches now. Outside ball 4, first base runner. Allowed. Chaparro. Have a pinch runner here. As D. Kennedy will come on to pinch run. Kennedy, 5'11", 185-pound freshman from Prestonwood Christian. The Metroplex. Gasparino, highly ranked incoming freshman, preseason freshman of the year, will step in here. 1 for 2 in this one. He has scored a run. Singled. Throw to first. Kennedy back in safely. If you have not seen a guy's move, and that was the first move, I'm really surprised he threw over that quickly. Always felt like it was better for you left-handers not to show that move right away.
It might not have been a good one. Could have just been a throw over me.
Could be trying to fool you.
Big lead.
Speed misses away for ball one. A little intense pressure here. Tie ball game, bottom of the 8th. Gasparino steps back in. Hitters count now 2-0. Went really quickly. That was not much of a visible stop that time.
Oh, D. Kennedy was back at first base. He thought he might have been coming over there.
Missed upstairs, 3-0. Top of the order. Jared Thomas awaits on deck. Upstairs, ball 4. Back-to-back walks. Go-ahead run in scoring position for Texas.
A couple lefties coming up right now, but we're going to have a visit. Let's talk things over real quick.
Is activity up and going in the bullpen for USD.
On Martyrer. Getting loose. Unless he has a good sinker, I'd leave this lefty in against these lefties.
You look for Texas. There's 2 lefties in a row. Then the right-hander Flores. And then 2 lefties behind Flores. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for San Diego. 3, 4, and 1 for Texas here. Back-to-back walks. That put a runner in scoring position for the Longhorns here in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, who wasn't ready he is now. There's a long visit out there.
Nine of the 10 ribbies this season so far for Texas have come in the top 3 hitters. Texas has been good with runners in scoring position this series. 6 for 13, 1 for 1 today. As Kennedy, the go-ahead run is at second base. As JT, 1 for 3, will step in.
Got him when he faced him. It was the first batter that Shapiro faced. Got him with the breaking ball to strike him out. I'd look for that breaking ball.
First pitch fastball in there for a strike.
Wouldn't look for a first pitch.
That's why you pitch, right? Wind continues with a howl blowing in from left. Throw back to second. Kennedy back in safely. .36 pitches now out of the bullpen for the left-hander. The 0-1. Breaking ball stays inside. And the count evens. The 1-1. That ball gets away. Kennedy tries for third. He's thrown out. Nice job of getting the ball up and getting it to third base.
I might take a look at it.
Kennedy thinks he's safe.
And the ball obviously beat him down there. Trying to be aggressive right there. Ball didn't get too far away from Armas. I think D. Kennedy might be correct.
That left hand was where you're looking at. The right handed was going to the outside. Tell you what,
I think D. Kennedy's right. But is his hand on the base or is he on his foot? Because he tagged him up above the elbow.
you see, Coach Rodriguez immediately goes, so let's review this. Watch the left hand. He pulls it back and tries to reach with the right to the bag. Does he get to the bag first? Interesting call.
I see safe, but I'm not.
You see enough to overturn that. Watch his left hand as he does pull it back right here. I tell you, call on the fill was out, but this is close.
If he's out, it's just a runner on first with 2 outs. Kennedy trying to be aggressive right there, and hopefully it works in his favor with this review.
It's an excellent slide by stopping that left hand.
Pretty long look at it.
One last time, slowing it down right here. Right hand, when does it get to the bag before that tag right there? And does in between, does the tag stay on him long enough as the right hand comes off of the bag? Call on the fill was out. Is there enough to overturn? At a crucial moment in this game, no question.
Needs to go ahead and run.
In the bottom of the 8th.
Right. I mean, it's
not like the go-ahead run in the first. Get multiple views right here. Does a nice job pulling that left hand back, and the right hand may get to the bag, but watch right here, the tag stays on him. And does the right hand come off of the bag? That would be the question.
one of the longest reviews you've ever been a part of.
Yeah, it's a really nice job of our camera guys getting the shots and the tape guys running the replay. Great job, guys. See what the call right here comes. Call will stand. Kennedy is out at third base. What a huge turn of events. So now it's 2 outs in the inning. Two-5 on the putout. Gasparino's at first base, and it's a 2-1 count to Thomas at the plate now with 2 outs. Throw over. The 2-1. We haven't seen a really big move. I mean, that may be the best he has, but we haven't seen like what I think might be his best move. Chop foul and the count evens.
I got to try Gasparino right here. Got 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Leadoff hitter.
If he gets thrown out, Jared Thomas leads off the bottom of the 9th. If he doesn't, he's in scoring position, possibly coming around to score.
40th pitch for Chaparras. Comes set. Over to first. thinking right along with you, Zeke. The 2-2. Not running, will be now with a full count. I think they would play behind him at first base.
Just behind him, they will.
The payoff to Thomas. Chop foul, we'll do it again. Thomas steps back in. The payoff. Ripped to left. That brings Peyton Powell to the plate. He's driven in all 3 of the Texas runs with a 3-run homer back in the 3rd inning, Zeke.
Yeah, he did. Got a ball in the inner half, elevated, and just took a really nice swing at it. First of the year for him. The only runs on the board for Texas right there in the 3rd inning.
42 pitches now. Sapara set. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Go ahead run at second base. To left, hit well. Coming on quickly as Smith puts it away and ends the threat for Texas in the 8th. We go to the 9th, all tied up at 3. We go to the top of the 9th. Some changes defensively for Texas as Tommy Farmer, who came on to pinch it, will go into right field. Kimball Schuessler will come in behind the plate as Galvan was lifted for the pinch runner. And on the mound for Plantier will be Ace Whitehead, the junior from Lampasas, 5'10", 195-pound left-hander. He comes on here in a tie game. You see the numbers from last season, Zeke. It's a guy that attacks the strike zone.
Yeah, he does. He goes right after you. Got a good slider, good fastball. Numbers were good last year. He will. He'll compete out there. He's ex-quarterback. Well, all-state quarterbacks. And guys, he wants the ball and wants to compete. We've got a few lefties in the middle of this lineup. Lefty righty coming up. Ace Boogie looking to keep it right here.
Well, this is how we got here. Is San Diego scored in the first, and then Peyton Powell's 3-run homer. And you see the starting pitchers, Charlie Hurley for Texas. And just like that, Texas with a 3-run lead. Well, San Diego scratched back in the ballgame with 1 in the 5th and 1 in the 7th. Have out-hit Texas 7-5 as we play here in the top of the 9th on a frigid afternoon in Austin, Texas. Runs have been tough to come by.
Got to be ready to bounce off that mound, too, if you're Boogie. For that reason right there.
Dustin Allen. He's had a good day today. 3 for 4, as Zeke mentioned earlier. Takes that pitch for a strike. He singled and scored in the first, flied out, double, the only extra base hit Zeke in the series so far for San Diego. And then singled and scored the tying run in the 7th. Downstairs. And it's 2-1. I got one for you. You protect the line in a tie ball game in the 9th inning? Question. I always felt like you didn't until 2 outs. Pitches in there for a strike. He's first and third base.
They're off. They're not guarding the line right now.
Yeah, I think you play off of you play normal until you get 2 outs. And you get 2 outs, then you don't want that double down the line. Texas in normal position here. The 2-2 downstairs. Big pitch here. Just got a piece of it. Keep the at-bat alive.
Yeah, this protect swing right there. Hit in Kimball Schuster's glove, but unable to keep it in there. Let's try it again.
7th pitch of the at-bat coming. This ball ripped up the middle. 4th hit of the day for Dustin Allen.
We got 3, 4, 5 coming up. Do you bunt your big boys, or you just let them go to hacking? Pretty good series so far for Dustin Allen. 6 for 9.
Setting the table at the top. Costello singled into first, grounded to second, has walked and grounded to short. 0 for 3. He's driven in a run with that ground out to short to tie the game. Squared to bunt, pulled it back. Pitch missed inside for ball 1. Texas was anticipating bunt. Interesting.
He might show it and then take it off. Now you got the infield moving around.
Down and in.
Falling behind here. I wouldn't think he would keep bunting with a 2-0 count. Gage Bame, in the meantime, the right-hander, warming up for Texas.
They're going to ask, is Whitehead okay here? They're coming out with the trainer, the head coach, and the umpire. Asking if Whitehead is okay there.
I haven't seen anything. Sometimes body language, different parts of your body you might mess with, sore. I haven't seen any of that from Ace. He tells him he's okay.
Sometimes you could see from, I thought his velocity was okay.
Yeah.
So back to play here with nobody out, 2-0 count, top of the 9th. If you're just tuning in, a tie ball game. Good bunt right out in front of the plate. Only play is to first to get the out. Go ahead run moves into scoring position at second base.
That was an excellent bunt. Barely got off the brown turf out there in front of home plate. Kimball Schuster jumping out there and getting on it in a hurry, getting the out. Just deadened it right off the end of the bat.
Well, that was perfectly done.
David Pierce on his way back out. Gage Bame will be on his way in.
There's going to be a pitching change here. We'll give you the information when we come back. Tie ball game, top of the 9th. Out of the bullpen, Gage Bame comes into the game. A sophomore, 6'5", 255-pounder from Taylor, Texas. Pitched last night, Z.
Yeah, second game of the season for Gage Bame. Last night, pitched the 8th inning. 1 inning, a couple hits, a couple strikeouts. Did not give up a run.
Comes in here to face Jack Gurovich. Gurovich on the day has walked twice. and singled twice, so he's had a big day.
2 for 2.
Go ahead run for USD at second base here in the top of the 9th inning. So Allen at second base on a 4-hit day is the go-ahead run. See the numbers. Toof has not been retired today as he steps in. Game set. Outside for ball 1.
3 runs for San Diego have not scored on base hits. 2 on fielder's choice and 1 on the sacrifice fly. So
Tardy on that one. Fooled. Count evens at 1-1. He even smiles about that. As a hitter, sometimes you go, oh, that's just what's bad. Got to laugh at yourself, don't you?
if you can't, it's going to be a long time.
The 1-1. Over the top of that breaking ball, and a good one. That depth you were talking about right there.
Well, it's a good one because it's on the plate, so a hitter sees it in the zone the entire time and then just drops down.
The 1-2. Right back with it. Dynamite couple of pitches for the strikeout.
3 straight sliders, 3 swings right over the top of it. Very nice. One more big out to get, though.
Peraza will step in. Singled his last time up. 1 for 4 on the day. Excuse me, 1 for 3 with a sac fly.
Smith.
Steps back in. Go ahead run, 180 feet away at second base. To center. Playable. Wynn's going to push this into the infield. Dowd's under, puts it away, and the threat erased in the 9th. We go to the bottom. Texas looking for 1 to win it. Bottom of the 9th tie ball game. Well, this is what happened last night with this young man coming to the plate. The 1-2. This ball crushed to left. Wynn is knocking it down, but it gets out of here. Get out of town. Grand slam against the traffic.
Well, we said it couldn't be done. And Jalen Flores just turned it around into the Yeti yard out there in left center.
Flores will lead it off here. He's 0 for 3 in this one, but the big blow last night. He will be leading it off here in the bottom of the 9th. 1 run will do it, and coming in as the left fielder. As you look at Austin Smith comes in from El Cajon, California.
Gurovich will go to left. Worthington will go from second to third, and Ryan Ward will come in at second base.
Oh, there you go. So we got some changes.
And probably Costello, not Gurovich.
So Flores will step in. Smith's first pitch is in there for a strike. Off of his hands, knocked down. Can he get it out? That had to hurt. I mean, he's hurt his right wrist diving into the wall, and then he put his pitching hand up there and caught that one off his pitching chin. It's a cold day.
He calls him out with this one, too. Yeah, it's just a reaction. You're going to try to get it again right off the tip of the finger right there. Yeah, he called the trainer out right here, so I imagine this could be it. A couple of pitches for Austin Smith.
not only did he hurt his hand there, but look, watch this. One of the great catches we've seen ever here at Dish Falk Field. And that left wrist really crumples into that wall, his right wrist. So his hands are bothering him right now.
Right wrist, grabs his knee right there, twists the ankle. Von Martyr will begin playing catch. If he does enter the game, he'll have as much time as he needs with the injury to Smith. It looked like he right off the tip of the finger.
Sometimes there might be allowing to see if some of the numbness comes back in his hand. See if he can grip the ball. See if he can throw a pitch. That's what they're going to look right here and see if he can.
So this is what you do right here. You launch one to the screen. Then going, I'm fine. I'm good. Texas guys would be like, what?
Get it right here in slow motion, Zeke.
It is. Again, it's just reaction. You want to try to think about putting your glove up at that. Like, look like the ring finger, the middle finger on this throwing hand. Threw a couple in there. Seems to be okay.
I think he's going to stay in the ballgame.
Well, a little glove hand save might have saved a base hit. It's going right back up the middle.
If you're scoring, that was 1-4-3 on the putout.
Second we've had in the 2 games.
Yep. As Jack O'Dowd will step in. Jack looking for his first hit of the year as he steps in. For 3 today. Outside for ball 1. Just misses. And it's 2-0. In there for a strike. The 2-1. Misses outside. Good hitters count now. 3-1. High, ball 4. The 1-out walk. Porter Brown will come to the plate. We may have a pinch runner here. As Jaden Duplantier will come out to pinch run for Jack O'Dowd.
Gumbo.
Porter Brown has walked 0 for 2 as he steps in.
Needs to get a hold of one and rattle it around in the corner somewhere.
Ball's way up and in for ball 1. A speed pitch of some sort got away from him there. Good location with that one. The count evens at 1-1. Fouls it back. One and 2 to Brown.
Now with the winning run on first, they are guarding the corners. Obviously on first, holding him on. Third base right on the back.
Throw over high, but comes back down. The 1-2. Breaking ball just upstairs. Casey Cummings has come out to the on-deck circle for Texas. The 2-2, way outside. And it's a full count. Think you would see the runner in motion here.
Make sure he goes home though.
Smith set. Runner not going. This one back up the middle for a base hit. So Porter Brown, it's his first knock of the ball game. Runners at first and second. Winning run now at second base. And we will have a pinch hitter. Casey Cummings, 6 foot, 190-pound junior, Danville, California. Six foot, 190-pound junior from the right side. First pitch in there for a strike. He's got some pop, looking for a base hit right here. By him inside, tied him up. And it's quickly 0-2. Tommy Farmer, freshman, on deck. Smith set. Got him with a high heater for the second out of the inning. So Farmer, with his second plate appearance as he comes to the plate here, just tied him up inside.
Cut a little bit or just nice Powder River up and in.
Farmer, a strikeout victim his first time up. True freshman, California native. Second collegiate at bat right here. Good fastball. Can't catch up to it.
Nothing, I mean, velocity-wise, nothing overpowering. Hides it well, tough to pick up.
The 1-1. Upstairs. And it's 2-1. Texas threatened in the 8th and now threatening again here in the 9th. Skied in the infield. Could be a difficult play. Who's going to call it? Somebody's got to call it. And Smith is an outfielder. He was going to make the play regardless, but Jurovich comes in and makes the play that ends the 9th. We go to bonus baseball. How about this play? To end the inning, Zeke.
Nobody wanted this ball. This ball's up in the air a long time, and Smith, being the outfielder, he's like, I'll take it. But then Jurovich, right there, takes it and ends the inning. We're going to extras.
A lot of times 9 innings, not enough. And then this one, second game of the year, it's not enough. We're knotted up at 3. 8 hits for San Diego, 6 for Texas, 1 miscue for the Longhorns. Bullpens have done a nice job. Bain will come out here for the 10th. Texas threatened in the bottom of the 8th to grab the lead, threatened in the bottom of the 9th to grab the lead. Couldn't in either frame. And Austin Smith came from left field, hit the wall, made an outstanding catch, then had a ball off of his fingertips, and then on the last play there, he was going to call that ball. He got it crushed in the back of the head by his first baseman.
Knocked him on the ground.
Yeah, knocked him to the ground, so he's going to lead it off here. And all, he is okay and ready to go.
I think for a second, Griffiths must have forgot who was on the mound, being an outfielder and all.
So Smith will lead it off. His first pitch in there for a strike. That breaking ball is dynamite today. So it'll be Smith, Worthington. Chopped on the ground. His activity, a lefty and a righty throwing in the Texas bullpen. Grant Fontenot is the right-hander.
David Shaw and Fontenot. Grant Fontenot.
Upstairs. 1-2. This wind continues to howl coming in over the left field scoreboard. Be nice to have a fire pit right now. It's freezing, folks. It is a tough afternoon. The 2-2. Tough play, chopped on the ground. Flores not going to get an out. Yes. Just pounded into the turf. No chance to make a play on it.
Yeah, it didn't bounce too far out there. Jalen had to come a long way to get it. Wisely held on to the ball. Way up in the air.
Worthington will step in. Sacrifice situation here. You would think.
Well, again, he's shown bunt anyway every time he's been up this series.
Now, the good part, I mean, you want to try to play with the lead on the road if you're the visitor. Can't get it down for strike one. Squares early. The 0-1. Outside. Count evens at 1-1. Smith leads from first. Bame set. Not bunny. I think it was hit and run, but Smith didn't run.
He's tired over there.
So now 1-2.
Yeah, somebody missed a sign right
there. Smith back in safely. He might need some ice. I don't know, of course, cold as it is, may need heat. Bame set. Good breaking ball, got the strikeout. Second one for Bame. Ryan Ward came on to play second base. They've lost the DH with Smith on the mound now. So in that spot in the order comes on Ward. Chop foul for strike one. Transfer from Arkansas. California native. This ball hit pretty well to right with some carry. At the wall, this ball gets out of here. Two-run shot by Ryan Ward. And San Diego with a 5-3 lead.
Yeah, that one got up into the Texas bullpen right there. Just kind of golfed it out of here. I think it hit the Taco Shack sign too.
Chance to look at it again. This is a fastball. Boy, he got out in front, had launch on it.
Yeah, got it up in that breeze a little bit. Get out of here, right off the taco sign.
So peeking ahead, it will be the 8, 9, and 1 spots due for Texas. Going to at least need 2 to tie here. This ball's chopped off and is quickly ahead 0-2. Walk 0 for 3 on the night. Armas. Downstairs.
Just the second extra base hit of the weekend for San Diego, and it's a big one.
Yes, it was. The 1-2. Got him with a breaking ball. Second strikeout of the inning, third since coming into the ball game, and back to the top of the order. Game set. Chopped on the ground, foul. Justin with a good night last night, 0 for 5, his 6th plate appearance. Here in the 10th. Inside corner, Frozy tied him up.
I think he thought it was going to hit him. It was running in there.
The 0-2. Laid off of that breaking ball. The 1-2. Off at the end of the bat. Going to be a tough play for Thomas. Does get the out. But Ryan Ward gives University of San Diego the lead with a bomb to right. Great extension. This ball jumps into the bullpen. And San Diego has their second lead today here at the bottom. Kimball Schuessler will lead it off. As you see, Ryan Ward right there. He's the difference in this game right now. 2-run homer. And the top of the 10th has given San Diego a 5-3 lead. Schuessler's first at bat of the game as he came on. Galvan was pinch run for. The junior from Lampasas. Hits this ball well to center with some carry. It's got a chance. It's going to get down for extra bases. And Kimball on his, looked like he was thinking 3. Stows up at second base, but a leadoff double. And a good start for Texas.
Yeah, you don't expect that to get over your head. Especially the last couple of days here at the dish. Dustin Allen playing not too shallow, but that ball just hammered up over his head. I don't think he thought it could get over it.
Right here, I thought he was thinking 3, and then he throws the brakes on right there. Gasparino, and then back to the top of the order here. Well, 1 for 2 as he steps in. Scored a run, walked, and singled. Outside corner in there for a strike. The 1-1. Foul tipped it. I believe he got a piece of it, but it's 1-2. The 1-2 delivery. Tried to turn that pitch over, missed outside. Count evens at 2-2.
Really, his most effective pitch has been his fastball. Texas unable to catch up, but for the most part, Schuessler did.
Got it by him. There's that heater you were talking about, Zeke. For the first out of the inning.
Seems like Texas hitters just swinging right through the fastball. That's right down the middle.
Jared Thomas will step in. These two left-handers, lefty-lefty matchups. The next two batters scheduled. The one place that it will get out of the ballpark, we've already seen, is to right.
Twice.
So Thomas, 2 for 4, steps in. Rips this ball to right. This down. They will hold the runner at third, but tying run is at first here with 1 out for Peyton Powell.
I don't know, some people are thinking, why are you holding him? Why are you holding him? Well, if he happens to get thrown out at home, it would be terrible. They threw the ball into second base. They weren't throwing it home, but why take a chance? 1 run doesn't mean anything. You need 3 runs, or at least 2.
Yeah, but the ball was headed to second base before Schuessler was at third base. I think that was a pretty good hold right there. Conversation, the entire infield together. Peyton Powell. This happened in the 3rd inning when he walked to the plate.
Both the home runs today by Ward and Peyton Powell. The fastballs right down the middle. And both have ended up almost in the same spot down there in right field.
Tying run at first now. Runners at first and third. Go ahead run at the plate for Texas. Breaking ball misses downstairs for ball 1. Seems to be Alex Smith's game at this point. Nobody throwing in the bullpen for USD. Outside. And a good hitter's count for Powell here, 2-0.
3 more hits today for Jared Thomas.
Yeah, he's just been off to a fantastic start. This ball crushed down the right field line. If it stays fair, it's gone. It hooks, foul.
He went over the fence. And there's only about 5 feet right there. You see him between the wall and the foul pole. And it went right between them. Right on that tarp out there.
Just hooks, foul.
That was close.
So 2 balls and a strike, and a long strike it was. Smith set again. This would rip back up the middle. Schuessler will score. Thomas with a big turn, but holds at second base. It is a 5-4 ball game. Now the tying run at second.
left-hander is getting a little tired out there. We had a full game in left field, running the bases, now pitching a slow saunter out to the mound. Have a little conversation. Texas starting to barrel it up pretty good here in the ninth.
You would think that somebody might be up in the bullpen. I just haven't seen anybody in the bullpen.
Yeah, there was some tossing going on earlier, but right now it's obviously guys just walking around with their jackets on, waiting for that phone call.
Last night, the man that's coming to the plate for Texas turned this breeze around with a grand slam. Still just one out in the inning. See Jalen Flores today. He is 0 for 4. But last night, this was the difference in the game as he walked to the plate. Got great extension into the Yeti yard. Ready in the Yeti yard right now. Tying run at second, 1 out. Flores steps in. Shot foul down the left field line. Flores steps back in. Smith set. Misses outside. Count evens at 1-1.
Oh, with the tying run on second, Texas will get someone up just in case it does go to more innings.
Double play depth in the infield. The 1-1 to Flores. Inside, 2-1. Smith set again. Got it by him above the belt there.
That's a fastball. Texas either been hitting it hard or just swinging right through it.
So the count evens at 2-2. Set to go again, working quickly. Right side, back out of play. The 2-2 again to Flores. Upstairs. And the count goes full. Jaden Duplantier is in the on-deck circle. He came on to play second base. The 3-2. Fouled off right side. 40th pitch for Smith coming. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming. Upstairs, ball 4. Tying run 90 feet away with 1 out.
Well, now wild pitch, fastball, air, anything can happen right here. Got that tying run 90 feet away.
Duplantier's first at bat of the year. He came on to pinch run and stay in the game. Jack O'Dowd. Tough to double up. Infield in double play depth. First pitch up and away for ball 1. First time today with the bases loaded for a Longhorn hitter.
Still no one throwing for San Diego.
The 1-0. in there for a strike. Porter Brown awaits on deck. The 1-1. Upstairs, 2-1. Smith set. That pitch catches the corner.
Pretty good pitch right there.
Count evens. The 2-2. Off of the fist. Back into the stands. We'll do it again. Porter Brown awaits on deck. The 2-2 again. Misses outside. About as far as we can go right now.
Yes.
Crowd on their feet. The payoff to Duplantier. Fouled away. We'll do it again. The 3-2 again. Fouled away.
You got to keep looking for that fastball. If he gets a breaking ball over, I mean, tip your hat. He tried to get a backdoor cutter to Flores and walked him, tried to get tricky with that one.
8th pitch of the at-bat coming. Just keeps the at-bat alive. Went to an off speed there.
Took the changeup right there.
Plantier steps back in. The payoff. This ball's hit to center. It's going to get the job done. Tagging at third is Thomas on his way to the plate. And we've got a tie ball game.
Great at bat. Really good at bat by James Duplantier right there. Fought off some pitches. Got a ball elevated. You think they don't like it right there. That's new life in that Texas dugout. An opportunity right now to win this ball game.
He knew he got it done when he made contact right there. And Thomas comes in to tie it up. Porter Brown singled his last time up. Winning run 90 feet away. Peyton Powell at third base. First pitch in there for a strike. Seen a lot of pitches today. That was the 23rd pitch that Brown has seen today. So he's seen a lot of pitches. Steps back in. Chopped on the ground to first. And we're going to play some bonus more baseball as Texas comes back with a 2-spot themselves in the bottom of the 10th. We go to the 11th, 5-5.
We head to the 11th, where Texas was able to get a couple to tie it in the bottom of the 10th on that man right there, Jaden Duplantier's sacrifice fly to make it 5-5 as we head to 11th. And Cole Selvig is going to enter the game for Texas in this tie ball game. San Diego able to get a couple in their top of the 10th. Texas fighting back to get two to tie it right back up. Freshman Cole Selvig out of Altoona, Wisconsin, getting his first appearance here as a Longhorn.
Interesting that you come back and find a way to get it done for Texas. You know, that's one of those things where you look at it and can you get it done? Can you get it done? Because sometimes it's really difficult. You sort of made your way back in the game, had the lead, gave it up, and then found a way to tie it.
It's been a roller coaster. It's this game right here.
So the top of the 11th. Wheels are spinning everywhere, aren't they?
It is.
Dustin Allen will lead it off here in the 11th. Good fastball in there for a strike. Leadoff hitters in extra innings are gigantic. Chop foul. And quickly out in front, no balls and 2 strikes. There's always that theory, Greg, that when it gets dark in Texas, the wind stops blowing. Let's hope so. Fouled away, left side back out of play. The 0-2. Breaking ball downstairs. And it's 1-2. The 1-2. One hopper by Duplantier. And a leadoff base runner for USD.
5th hit of the day for Dustin Allen. 4 singles and a double. This one huge, leading off the 11th inning with that base hit.
Leadoff base runners. Sacrificed his last time up. Costello.
Sacrificed Allen, who led off the 9th with a single.
One for 3 as he steps in with a walk and a sacrifice. Throw over. Allen back in safely. Squares, pitches up and away for ball 1. There goes the runner, little hit and run, throw to second base, not in time. As the stolen base on a little hit and run.
He got a good jump on the hit and run. Swung through it and the throw. Schussler tried to throw it down the second from his knees. That's all he could really try to do. A little offline.
USD is 1 for 10, Greg, with runners in scoring position today. They have one now with no outs. Costello steps back in. 1-1 count. Time called again. A little bit confusing on the signs right here. Now ready to go. Breaking ball in there for a strike. That was a good breaking ball.
And you square around the bunt. That one does freeze you.
The 1-2. Around the plate inside, and the count evens at 2-2. Way outside. Schuessler does a nice job of just snagging that one.
Had to reach way out there.
So the count goes full. The payoff. Right side. Down for a base hit. Had to go back to the bag. Had to hold the runner at third. Nice job of running the bases by Allen. He had to stay because it looked like that Thomas had a shot at it.
He did. I mean, just over the glove of Jared Thomas. And alertly, you'll see him at second base. He's going to take that step back towards second just in case it's caught. Unable to score, and David Pierce on his way now to go to the bullpen.
So the first two runners have reached base. A base hit, stolen base, base hit. Runners at first and third, and nobody out. Coach Pierce making a move to the bullpen again. On a day when it is very chilly, to say the least. But you look at the ball game, everybody's been able to do it. There's been 21 hits now in the game, 10 runs in the game. It's been controlled by pitching, but late offense has been involved.
Yeah, offense has get involved. I mean, that's why we are where we are. San Diego scored a couple to thinking they're going to win this ball game, and Texas able to fight back. So offense has opened it up. Right now, San Diego with runners on first and third, nobody out.
This is where you find out, though, folks, a lot about your team. You know, you want to play these types of games. Who can come in? Who can do certain things in that scenario? And I thought Duplantiers at bat was a gigantic at bat.
Oh, it was. I mean, it's about a 9-pitch at bat, fouled off some 3-2 pitches, then able to get the ball elevated to the outfield to get the tying run in. It was a great at bat for Jake.
And then in the 10th inning, you start the top of the 10th as Ryan Ward gets a pitch he can explode on right here.
Got a fastball right over the center of the plate. Got it up. Free tacos for everyone.
It did definitely hit this. And then the Duplantiers at bat again. This was time run at third base. 10 pitches in the at bat. Found a way to get it done to drive in Thomas. And that was a huge part of the game to tie it up right there. Now in the hands of the bullpen. Now you come back. USD has done a nice job of putting themselves in position again as Heston Toll comes into the game here.
Coming into the ball game, another big right-hander for Texas. Fastball slider, can control that slider. He can throw it whenever he wants. Do the numbers from last season. He was also out during the postseason a little bit. ERA good. Did not have a record, but a huge moment right now. Looking, I mean, right now the scenario, you want it, obviously none to score, but you have to get a strikeout right here or something pop up to the infield or shallow to the outfield and then get that double play. But you're looking to keep them off the board and give yourself an opportunity.
Well, in the best case scenario is a strikeout. Other than that, you would like to keep the ball in the infield. No question about it. We're about ready to go here as Toll's finished his warm-up pitches. Gurovich will step in at first base. The first baseman, excuse me. He has walked twice, singled twice, and struck out. It's down and in for ball one. Nobody out in the frame. Top of the 11th in a 5-5 ball game. Full foul. Count evens. The 1-1. Ripped down the right field line, but hooked foul.
Verdol needs to keep that slider. The inner half, all lefties can do is yank it down that line just like that. Foul. Anything over the plate, you can keep fair.
So 1-2. Laid off of one just at the top of the zone. Count evens up. The 2-2. Got him. Huge strikeout. That was what you were talking about, Zeke.
Got to get that one right there. Keep them, any runners from advancing on the big out from a good hitter. So this breaking ball stays outside and up. It just got fooled with the off speed of the pitch. Now you got to wonder, could we see maybe some kind of bunt right here?
Squeeze opportunity. Raza will step in. He's hit a sacrifice fly in this game, 1 for 4. Driven in a couple. There was the safety squeeze.
Yep.
The runner for third was not coming. But you saw Thomas barreling down at the plate. Fouled off for strike one. Getting all those things you work on early in the season right here in the second ball game of the year. Runner goes, throw to second base. Here comes the throw to the plate. Is it in time? No, it's not in time. The double steal works. And the Toreros have the lead.
Yeah, they executed well. Texas did what they wanted to do. Throwing it through, but the throw coming back home from Jalen Flores up the first base side. If it's on the third base side right here, he's going to be out. But he just gets it to the first base side and unable to get the tag on.
See the first part of that, then you got to get out of the way, and you see Schuster getting ready, comes back, tries to make the tag, and he's in there, and it is a 6-5 lead. Double steal. He's chopped on the ground. Flores comes quickly. Can he get it out? Yes, he does. Stella moves up to third base. Chance to see this play at the plate, Zeke.
Yeah, just a little offline was the throw, and that left foot gets in there. Just under the tag.
Yeah, but Schuster, the ball comes out right there when he comes back to make the tag.
I never saw. He never had the ball.
This ball hit on the ground. Flores up with it, throw across the diamond in time, but USD puts a run on the board in the 11th. Texas will need one to tie.
Trouble performing their best in bed. For some guys, it's issues getting hard. For others, it's finishing too quickly. Either way, Hims can help. At 4hims.com, you can get clinically proven treatments from licensed medical providers, all from the comfort of home. With a 100% online process and free discreet shipping, it's never been easier to get hard, stay hard, and last longer than ever. Get started today with a free online consultation at 4hims.com.
We go to the bottom of the 11th. San Diego has scored 2 in the 10th. Texas came back with 2 in the bottom of the 10th. Now in the 11th, San Diego scored 1 in the top of the frame. Texas coming to bat, and this is how they got that run on a first and third double steal. The throw to second, but the throw back to the plate. Schuster trying to make the tag. The ball popped out of his glove as he was coming back to try to make the tag.
Yeah, it didn't matter if he would have tagged him. He didn't have the ball. But I think if the throw is on the third base side, he's going to catch it fairly easy and keep a hold of the ball. Just offline, unable to keep it.
Von Monteher, he's a senior, 6 foot, 185 pounder, San Rafael, California. Transfer from Cal, comes into the game. You look at this ball game, and each team has not been able to stop the other team from gathering momentum. I mean, Texas should have felt like they had all the momentum. When they tied it up, you felt like, oh, we got it tied. We're going to play another inning at extra, but now got to give this USD club a lot of credit. They came right back out and ready to go here.
Well, Texas has run into a guy named Dustin Allen today. 5 hits and scored 4 of the 6 runs for San Diego.
Casey Cummins will lead it off. 0 for 1 today as he steps in. First pitch outside corner for a strike. Downstairs. Been waiting for about 4 hours to get his opportunity to get into the game here.
It's been a long wait.
The 1-1. Just missed inside. 2-1. Off of the fist, foul. And the count evens. The 2-2. On the ground, back up the middle for a leadoff base hit.
He kept his hands in. Bounced it right up the middle, past the diving shortstop. Again, leadoff base hit here in the extras. The 11th.
Book says you bunt here. See what happens. As Farmer steps in. 0 for 2 as he steps in. Ball rides in on him, hits him in the right hand. That had to hurt. Shook it off pretty easy, but that,
I know.
This ball runs in. Ooh, catches him on that index finger. Time called. Conversation over. Spears heads back to the dugout. I think there's a ball called. So it is a 1-1 count. Break a ball. In there for a strike, and it's 1-2. Farmer.
Said he foul tipped it.
So the 1-2 delivery to Farmer. Outside corner, painted it for the strikeout. Kimball Schuessler, who led off the 10th with a double to straightaway center field will step in. He came on late in the ballgame. Doubled with a run scored. Slider misses downstairs for ball one. The 1-0. Missed again with a breaking ball.
Little slider. Started out and kept going.
Schuessler steps back in. This ball hit well into the gap in left field. Is it going to get down? It can't. Nice running catch. And I don't know if it's tied up. This could end the game right here. And if it does, the ball game is over. Do we have a catch? Is this going to be reviewed?
Casey Cummings not sure what to do right there. There was no call for like 3 seconds. But I mean, they might check it.
Well, San Diego's celebrating on the field like they won the game. David Pierce out to talk to all 4 umpires. It still has not been decided at this point whether they're going to review it at this point as they make them leave the field. So they're going to have a call if the ball's caught or not. They will review.
Yeah, regardless, right there, Casey Cummings needs to come back to first.
Yes.
Because if he gets back to first, then at least one runner over there is safe.
Ball was definitely caught right there, so that's a catch.
That's ball game. Yeah, from what we just saw, it did go in his glove, and it will be a double play, and it will end the ball game.
Chance to look at it one more time. Costello comes in and does. That ball never touches the ground. He makes the catch. Cummings could not get back to the bag. He wasn't sure where it was caught or not caught. And he was stuck in no man's land. You can see right here. And once he's tagged right there, before getting back to the base, he's out. And it's a double play and the ball game's over. Here comes the review. Here comes the call. It's a double play and the game's over. USD has come up with a victory in 11 innings, 6-5. Strange way for it to end, Z.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it was a good catch. And as a runner, you need to get back to first, because if they throw it to first, they'll tag both of you. One of you is going to be safe, the runner, because he caught the ball in the outfield. But that way you protect yourself from the double play, and it ended the ball game. But yeah, I mean, back and forth late in this ball game. San Diego able to hold on to get their first win of the year.
Yeah, Smith, how about the day that Austin Smith had?
He gave his body up a few times in this ball game and swung the bat pretty good. They were able to piece that together. Smith would get the win, Selvig with the loss, and Martyr will get his first save of the year.
For the 3rd straight season, San Diego has beaten a ranked baseball team, and they come up with a victory. Rubber match tomorrow, game 3. What do you expect?
Well, just saying, these teams have been going at it. They played really good, clean baseball and back and forth. And Texas, we assume, is going to be Tanner Witt. We don't know for sure, but he was projected to be the 3rd guy. So it should be a fun day. And Texas looking to take the series.
Hope it's warmer than it was today.
It can't be any colder.
As San Diego comes up with the victory. Thanks to our entire crew and the guys working out in this cold weather. For Greg Swindell, I'm Keith Moreland. Thanks for watching. We will see you tomorrow, 1 Central Time here on Longhorn Network.